Hello and welcome back, everyone. Today we are going to be doing our first podcast for EU5, and we are here with Lord Lambert and Malforian. Hopefully I pronounced those right. And we are going to be talking about some things like CK3 and how it relates to EU5, Anbennar and fantasy mods in EU5, a little bit about mission trees, and the thing that kind of unites the three of us, which is we are the three people who have covered all of, or nearly all of, the Tinto talks in the upcoming of the release. And I think that's a big reason why we were invited to Tinto, and so we all met in Spain. And so why don't you guys introduce yourselves, say what you're working on or anything you want to plug, and then we can get into it. Starting with Lambert, I suppose. Left to right.
All right. I've been covering the Tinto talks as a kind of like where do I want to bring my channel now that everything on YouTube is dying? So it was a pretty good idea to do that. I think the reason you said nearly all the Tinto talks is because I've missed the last few because I've been a little bit busy playing EU5. It's kind of it's taken over a little bit, and I feel like that can be a good thing. Can be it's a bit awkward sometimes. But hi, thanks for inviting me on.
And then Malforian?
And I mean Malforian.
Malforian, I apologize.
Yeah, I don't mind. The other one is from World of Warcraft. Anyway, before we get onto tangents, that's what I do in my live streams. I'm Malforian. I play a lot of Crusader Kings on my channel. It is Malforian on YouTube. I started covering all the Tinto talks because I really used to enjoy playing EU4, and then when Crusader Kings came out, I mainly played that. And then when I tried to go back to EU4, I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't get used to the UI and all the mechanics and all the DLC they'd had since I last played. So yeah, that's why I followed all the Tinto talks, because I wanted to, keep up to date. And then I don't know, it's been kind of fun watching the progress of it over the last, it's been over over a year now, I think.
Like a year and a half or something.
Yeah, a year and a half, which is crazy.
It's like February 2024, so we're getting close to 2 years.
Almost 2 years, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been really fun following those, and then seeing what the game's progressed and the reaction to some of the systems and stuff like that. So now it's like half and half of my channel.
Yeah, I see you streaming CK every once in a while. I actually thought, I don't know why I thought this, but when I invited you guys on initially, I thought Lambert was also CK3 primarily, and then when doing a little bit of research, it was just like all EU5 and then Anbennar like underneath.
Yeah. It's Anbennar is like, it's still stuff that I do because I do Twitch streaming as well. I do a lot of multiplayer Anbennar. But for stuff like on YouTube, it's been EU5 for a long time now, and I haven't really moved away from it.
For viewers who don't know what Anbennar is, could you briefly explain it?
No? Briefly?
Okay.
Are you joking? It's a fantasy world in EU4. I think probably the biggest mod for EU4 now, where they just kind of replace all of the real world with a fantasy world that has dwarves and elves and orcs and goblins and basically everything that you might find in D&D. And it's huge and it's addictive, and I love it a lot.
All right.
Is it based on an IP? I've never looked at it.
No, it's original for EU4.
Okay,
The main creator, Jay, was writing a dissertation on fantasy worlds, and then he made the mod as something to go with it. So the mod was mentioned in his dissertation and all that. So I think it's been close to or just over 10 years in the making, the world itself.
Has he copyrighted the IP?
I hope so. I hope so. I hope he goes into like books and comics and all that, like just absolutely make it massive, because this thing is it's got more lore than some countries do. Like it's huge.
Yeah. Because it's now like a 15-year long project, whereas EU5 is now like 5 years in development. They started in 2020, and then the Tinto talks we were discussing before that have been going on for like close to 2 years. We've been covering it now, or I started with like Tinto talk number 2, I think, when they spoiled the map, right?
Yeah.
That was the one. The first one is like, hey, we're going to be talking about stuff.
And
then 7 or whatever.
my start with it was I got because I've been friends with Yuan for a while now. Based through EU4 and meeting him at ParadoxCon, and I got a DM from him saying in an hour go look at the forums, something you might enjoy. And I'm like, so I was glued.
Did you have an inside track where you?
Well,
everyone kind of knew, but huh?
I for sure, absolute certain that it was EU5 until the announcement, or until we got told
at
when we were invited to Tinto. Yeah. Oh, actually, a little bit before then, because I was invited to this artwork that's behind me.
Yeah.
I was part of like a small, like 3 or 4 people that were like giving some opinions on the art and an alternate version of it as well. And so I was told maybe like a month before we got invited to Tinto. I think though by accident. But
we have this
either
game.
Way,
we need an art
I
for.
didn't have any kind of inside track on that was confirmed. Like I would ask, and I would call it EU5 to his face.
Yeah.
And he would always call it Tinto, or he'd always call it Project Caesar. But I think like that kind of gets ingrained in you when you've been calling it that for like 4 years or something.
Johan's kind of a steel trap about that. I got like when we were in Tinto, obviously they don't care if they like tell us like 2 days before they're gonna tell us, and so it doesn't matter. But I was enjoying trying to make various members of the staff spill the beans early. It's just like I think I got a couple of them, but like it's inconsequential. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. I kind of thought they might reboot it as just Europa Universalis, but it makes sense in 5.
Yeah,
all the changes
they've made.
That. I thought they might do, but it just makes sense to fit them.
Some people were speculating Terra Universalis, and I was just like,
the IP's too big.
Clueless.
That's kind of what I think as well.
It's like Crusader Kings. Not to jump ahead to that, but they said with that they probably call it something else now, but they can't because it's such a well-known IP at this point.
Yeah. I was really shocked to get invited to Tinto because I do literally zero EU4 stuff. Were you guys surprised, or did you see it coming, or what have you?
I think for me, I would have been monstrously disappointed if I saw all these creators getting invited to Tinto to have a look at the game, and I'd been covering the game and the dev diaries the whole time. Again, one of the 3 people who'd been doing it.
Yeah.
I would have been absolutely mortified, but I also would have expected it because I always feel like I've got mad imposter syndrome every time I'm doing anything. So I would have been like, "Oh, I've been left out again." Typical. It's happened all the time. It's always me. Blah blah blah. I get super self conscious about that kind of crap. But
because it was us 3 and then the huge creators and then journalists. Yeah. And that was it.
Yeah. I remember sitting at that breakfast with you, Generalist, and being like, why are we here?
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt. And I was also like, man, all these guys know each other, and I don't know any of them. I think this was our first live event for all 3 of us.
I've been to PDX Con, but the first time I went to PDX Con, I paid for my own ticket and went on my own dime and all that.
Yeah.
The second time I did get invited as journalist. Although it was less invited and more like me saying, "Hey, can I get a ticket, please?" And I got the ticket, but I had to pay my own flights and hotel and all that kind of stuff. Whereas this is the first time it's been a cold introduction of "Oh yeah, here, we want you to come to this event." That blew my mind. That was crazy.
Getting that invite was crazy. Just being like, "What's this?" Oh.
I also hadn't gotten invited to anything for Victoria 3 before I got invited to EU5 stuff, and that's more my background, which is the econ type stuff. Do you guys have a favorite Tinto talk?
Oh, I mean, it's going to be a little controversial because it coincides with my least favorite Victoria 3 dev diary. Number 22. Number 22, baby.
And which one was that?
Well, in Vicky, it was called The Concept of War. And I think it's so peak, so beautiful, so absolutely perfect that you had made it so that 22 in EU5 was all about warfare. It's so peak. It's so beautiful.
On purpose.
Well,
Oh yeah, no, 100%. Why not? Like,
I think he never like explicitly like goes after Vic 3 as far as I could tell, but occasionally there's a little bit of shade, I think. Or it's just him disagreeing with the design philosophy and then just like thinking through it and be like, yeah, we wouldn't do that. Like,
yeah.
Things like how pops and how performative pops are with the things that they do.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, we would never do it this specific way, and then that specific way happens to be the exact way that Vic 3 is doing it.
Yeah, the like Vic 3 is like very, very interesting for you. Like Vic 3, not to get too far ahead of things, but Anbennar for Vic 3 drops on October 4th. Are you aware of this?
I have been reached out to about this.
Yeah.
I look. I'll play it straight, right? As soon as I heard about that it's coming soon, I reached out to our influencer manager. He doesn't like his name in super public, so I'll just call it that. And I said, look, I know I have a history with this game. I know that I know, but can I please have some DLC keys? Because Anbennar, which I'm like super into, is gonna make a version for Vic 3, and I kind of want to try it out. And his response was like, ha 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 ha. He just laughed at me. Like, he gave it. I got the keys, but he laughed at me. It's like
he was like, kick rocks, buy the game.
Like he was on holiday at the time, and I could just imagine him sitting there on at some restaurant. He checks his phone and then he starts giggling in the middle of a fancy restaurant because I'm asking for some keys. It's peak. And look, he's a lovely guy. He gave me the keys, so I'm gonna give it a try.
For context, Lord Lambert is a classic Vic 3 hater. One might say he invented the genre.
Yes, because I was just like I did with EU5. I was covering the Vic 3 dev diaries from the very start, and then I was invited to like a group of a few people that got the dev diaries like the day before.
Yeah.
So we could prepare, and I was the first of these people to say, "Look, this warfare." Nah. So I would argue, yes, I am the very first Vic 3 warfare hater.
He's
the very first.
Zero.
I will be the last as well.
I really like the design philosophy behind warfare, but in Vic 3, which is that I personally would like a game where I can't gain an edge over the AI in war. That way I have to outperform them in other avenues.
I like that they tried something different. I just don't think it would work.
That
the way
too.
they tried it. Like, I don't mind because I don't want every Paradox game to have similar-ish combat. So it's kind of nice they did it, but I just
Yeah, I feel like it's fine to try something new, but if it fails and if it doesn't work and if it's just not fun,
then change it.
You probably should change it at some point before release, or even after release, and not wait. How long's it been out now? 2.5 years?
I think it's like 3 years. Or it's coming up on... I believe it released like October 25th.
Yeah, look, you've had enough time at this point.
I don't think they're... I don't think they're
and done... Oh, no, I don't
think they've committed to not using a move units around on the map system.
Yeah. Like, it could have been something new.
It's a lot better than it was like on release. There's a lot less front spaghetti.
I guess I'll find out when I play.
I guess you will, yeah. Watch the Anbennar. One thing they do is like find a way to have a completely different military.
Oh, that would be peak. That would be so peak. I'd love that.
You get units on the map, right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Do you have a favorite Tinto Talk Malforian?
I can't name them. although I have covered them all.
I can't number them just off the top of
No,
my
I
head.
can't remember them.
I can only name that number. I can only name number 22. That's the only one.
For me, not just because I'm English, but the colonization focus ones, because that's part of the game I enjoy the most. Well, that and trade.
Yeah.
But, you know,
I like colonization a lot too.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of interesting how you can play it out differently, and I think the dev diaries around that, it's close to... I did a video a long time ago about how I would hope colonization would work in the game, and it isn't quite that, but it's close enough that I'm like, okay, it's a bit more interesting than EU4, where you're just like, oh, I want to pretty much just go exactly here and do this.
Yeah.
And there was no, like, back and forth with it like there is in EU5, so... yeah, they're probably the most interesting. I mean, to be honest, most dev diaries each week there's something that's like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
Like a spin. Nearly every system's got like a twist on it from EU4, which is cool. And bringing things from like Victoria 2, other stuff as well. So
I was really excited. Yeah, I was really excited to see Control.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah,
was pretty high for me. Although trade, like, I think when I saw that they were gonna have dynamic prices, that's when I'm like, okay, I'm on board. Like, we're in. Like, because the EU4 economics is, like, just super...
It's basic.
Arcadey.
Yeah, it's basic. I think EU5's been a project where they have been like, all right, we're going to make a new grand strategy game. But we're not just going to be sticking to the script, sticking to the box that we've made for ourselves with EU4. Like, oh, CK3's done a whole character thing. Nah, we're taking that. We're going to have characters. We're going to have the family tree. We're going to have the dynamic dynasties where I can do royal marriages and they actually function as they realistically should. Say, oh, Victoria's got that economic system on lockdown. Not anymore. I'm having a bit of that, And it's... Yeah, I think he's taken a bit more from Vic 2 than he has from Vic 3. For reasons of he worked on Vic 2, he didn't work on Vic 3.
And also from Imperator.
Yes. Yeah, there's a lot of Imperator stuff in there, especially with like the warfare, I'd say, and cities, like the 3 tiers of locations. Rural, town, city, that's straight from...
I think there should be a 4th tier, to be honest.
That'll be in DLC.
Metropolis.
Yeah. Well, like...
you can only get in, like, Beijing, London, and Paris by the end of the game.
You have to have, like, 250k plus to promote to it or something like this. Pops.
That's cool.
But maybe that gives too much power to the East. Right now, in terms of...
No. It's an achievement, though. The City of World's Desire, make Constantinople have 250k pop and make it a metropolis.
It is an achievement.
It is written. It needs to be done.
Have you also just, like, fully expanded out a city, and then you're just like, man, I can't do anything with this economically?
Funnily enough, I did kind of do that, literally, with Constantinople, and I was talking with Lemon Cake, and just talking about my campaign. He's like, oh, yeah, but make sure you don't go over the building limit. I'm like, oh yeah, there is a building limit. I forgot about that. Went and looked at my game. Yeah, 250 out of 160.
Yeah. That's like...
It's like, oh, that's why it costs a lot of money to build there. I'd forgotten all about the mechanic, because there's so many mechanics that...
Yeah. It's also...
I kind of feel like they're better integrated, though. Like, there's all these different mechanics, but they actually... To me, anyway, they felt more...
Yeah.
Like, naturally intertwined, rather than like previous games where it's like they're all siloed into different things and they don't really affect each other. So,
100%.
There's a lot going on.
There's like EU4, like it feels like there's a bunch of different systems, but yeah, they don't interconnect. And EU5, the stuff interconnects a lot, which is like what I like about Vic 3 a lot, is that stuff you do over here affects stuff over here in a way that isn't necessary. It's like intuitive if you think through it, but it's not readily apparent, like, on a surface level.
Yeah. That's why I've liked the new developer diaries they've done, that short series that's just started.
Yeah.
The Tinno Flavors and Tinno diaries have been good for showing you all the systems, but I think unless you're like, us being super nerdy and reading them and analysing them and everything, you probably didn't realise quite how interconnected everything is, but then the dev diary last week, or this week, was really showed off, like, how buildings affect population, affects your economy, affects warfare, affects everything in the game. So They've been really good for showcasing that, I think, to players to be like, everything is really connected. It is, you could say, ambitious how it's connected.
Ooh, look at this guy.
Be ambitious.
Yes.
It is fair though. Like, it is the most ambitious game Paradox has made. Like, and it's second place in England. It really isn't.
The thing that I think is just so under discussed on like the forums and Reddit and stuff is like the map. Like, the map is just so insane, and it's like easily the most impressive thing. Like, nothing is anywhere close to as impressive as like the map is. Just the sheer number of locations and like
30,000 now, I think. Like, it was 29,000 or something when they showed it off, and they added however many provinces in literally the last patch the creators got.
Yeah,
I think I wouldn't be surprised if there's over 30k now, which is wild.
Yeah, crazy, especially with how different they are as well, with all the 3 different things that affect them, like the topography and everything. It's not like, just paint some grassland on it and just add it someplace.
And then eventually we're probably going to get vegetation that can change depending on what you do.
Yeah,
I would love that. I don't know if we're... I don't see it happening anymore. And I know there were...
It's definitely happening, just not by release, I think.
Really? I mean, I would love that.
Apparently, the only inhibitor is like a graphical one, like updating the map graphically. So someone's probably going to mod that in pretty early.
Oh yeah, no, it can definitely be modded. And I think what I think is that Paradox themselves won't be doing it because they want the information of this is a grassland, this is a forest, this is a woodland, whatever, to match with the map graphics, and they can't change the map graphics while game's running.
I
think
people
it's
will super not performative. But
yeah, that makes sense. And also, it's probably really annoying for balancing. To be honest, they did it. Maybe I'm not too sure.
It's like probably, but like also there's like weird idiosyncrasies where like North America sucks super hard because it's just all forest and woodland with terrible RGOs. And it maybe shouldn't be that bad. And so if you could have clearings where you, like, get up to farmlands. And also it's weird that, like, the places that are farmlands aren't the most fertile, like, places in the world. Instead, they're just the places that have the most population at game start.
Maybe they'll allow,
like, kind of like black soil modifier.
Yeah, well, that's the... I think if they make vegetation dynamic, then they can have a soil, like, trait for every location. But that would be like
a fertility mechanic.
Yeah. I think like you would just do that on a God, can you imagine going through it and every single location deciding how fertile it is? That would take forever.
They have that in Crusader Kings.
This is your job for the next 3 months.
Yeah, with the Khans of the Steppe DLC, every county has fertility that goes up and down depending on what you do with it.
How many?
So you have to it has like a cycle of, you have like these herders that make the fertility really good, and then if you move your country to that location, you start getting rid of it, and then you've got to move your whole, nomadic realm somewhere else to somewhere that's got fertility. So, and it's technically across the whole map, although if there's not a nomadic country there, it doesn't show. But yeah, that is. I mean, obviously, it's a much smaller map than EU5 is. Like, performance-wise, it would be.
How many counties are there in CK3? Any idea?
I probably should know, but I don't. I'm gonna say a lot of them.
I just like
a few.
Yeah, a few. More than a couple.
Probably more than. I think Vic 3 has the lowest density, or like the example I used to talk about.
Also the highest.
Huh?
Right? Because doesn't Victory, like, nothing works on the tiniest scale of what it has in the game.
So the game tracks like provinces, but you only interact with states. But you can have split states. But for the most part, you can't interact with the smallest unit. And like.
Except for warfare.
Huh?
Except for warfare, where you're occupying, but you're not really interacting because you don't interact with warfare.
Well, even then, it's on a per state basis. You're just occupying a percentage of the state. You're not occupying individual province. I think graphically you occupy individual provinces, but like mechanics-wise, it's just percentage of a state. And like, EU5, it's just like, I feel like I'm playing, like, the full game, and then, like, I zoom out, and I was like, oh, the world's huge. Like, because you're just like, it feels like you're playing a strategy game that's just an Italy-only strategy game. And then you zoom out, and you're like, oh, the rest of the world's there, too.
It's like the classic Crusader Kings, if you're playing in India or somewhere, you know, it's the meme of, like, you move over to Europe randomly, and, like, what the hell's happened?
Yeah, exactly.
It's way more zoomed in EU5, though. Like, I found myself in my recent campaign. Screw it, I'll spoil what I'm doing for my next AAR. I'm playing Wales, and I find myself Wales filling up my entire screen.
Yeah.
And that's all I need. I don't need to be looking here and there and everywhere. So I'm like full focus on Wales, and it feels like natural to be at that zoom level.
Yeah.
And then I zoom out, and then oh god, Romans, what have you done again? Really, please, this time, just one more time, just try be stable, please.
For those who don't know what he's referring to the Byzantine Empire.
No such thing. It's the Eastern Roman Empire, or I mean, that was my favorite Tinto talk. It wasn't Tinto talk at all. It was when he said that they were going to have a naming game rule.
Selector.
Yeah, but which one is the default?
The wrong one.
You might have
to be the default.
Look,
one for sure.
I can scroll up on Discord for literally 7 or 8 years, and like one of the first comments I ever wrote to you on was about changing the name of that country in EU4, and now it's here in EU5, and I've still got like several comments spaced months apart. I was like, can you change it now, please?
Yeah. Not that we could get like specific, I don't think, or we should generally try and avoid it, but Johan's generally really, really responsive to feedback. He is. And suggestions.
It's not this one.
Well, there's the setting.
Yeah, look, I'll take whatever crumbs I can get.
I mean, they're going to leave as the default name just because, you know,
it's way more recognizable.
Normal game players are going to recognize it as
Yeah, I feel like I may have made a mistake because all of the creators would be able to do like a single YouTube short and an image. And
what'd you use for the YouTube algo? Which hashtag are you using?
I didn't. It wasn't actually YouTube the shorts. I did the AAR thing on the Romans, and I played the Empire of the Romans in EU5, and then on the thumbnail I was like Eastern Roman Empire, or I played the Romans. I didn't mention Byzantium or Byzantines anywhere.
Classic mistake.
Or the name of the country in the game, because it's Eastern Roman Empire in the game, and I didn't call it that either.
Nice click-through rate.
In, just steadily, just shaking.
It was maybe a mistake, but you know,
it's 100% a mistake to use.
Is feeling it's correct.
ERE over Byzantium. Sometimes you got to put your foot down, though. Like you're like,
this is one of them.
I hate when, and a lot of people do this. I hate when like content creators use something that didn't happen in their run as the thumbnail.
Yes.
And it's like really common for like Vic 3 specifically, people to use like 1 billion GDP, and this isn't anyone specific I'm talking about. Multiple people do this.
Yeah, sure. I think I recognize some of those elements in video thumbnails that I've seen, but I agree. I think the people who do it also agree. It's just, I've got the asset. I'll just put it on the thumbnail.
Yeah,
it's fine.
That's the biggest thing. Is it's like, okay, I already have the asset for X thing, and then like, might as well use it.
Yeah.
But to be fair, when I was first like, I think I reused assets a little bit more often when I was first like making thumbnails. But my thumbnails also look terrible, so.
I think of the three of us, I think Malforian has the best thumbnails. I really like that white border thing. That white border thing, I was like, damn, I really want to do something like that, but it'd be so fucking obvious if I copy it now.
No, I've
also, I don't know if I'm allowed to swear, I'm sorry.
This is like the 20th time I've redone. I was really bad for like, I'll do it, and then for like 2 months later, I'll be like, oh, I'm going to redo all my graphics. And like, no, I found a good one, don't. So I have to force myself not to change it. I like very simple kind of,
you also have,
I don't know, impactful or whatever for my graphics and my channel and stuff.
You also have way better editing than both of us, I think. I'm not 100%
That's because I'm terrible
sure.
at talking, so I have to edit. I have to get real good at editing because I'm English and people already shout at me for pronouncing things wrong. So I have.
Oh,
to
and people do that to everyone, though.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They do.
No, it's really easy because all you have to do is anytime you say any word for place name on the map or something, it's like, oh, I pronounced that perfectly, and like, what are they gonna do? Say no? Give you some engagement? Oh no!
Oh no, that's one of my favorite types of comments in terms of like, man, this is insane, is when people accuse you of engagement farming because you don't pronounce some obscure place correctly. You're like, wait, what?
I grew up in Yorkshire. We don't pronounce anything correctly there. So.
Yorkshire, you mean?
Yorkshire, yes. There with my Worcestershire shores.
I'm from North Yorkshire myself, so I mean, it's look,
it's myself.
We don't even pronounce our own towns correctly. Like, so I mean, it doesn't really matter.
I think it's left over from like the Victorian era where you're just like, it doesn't matter how we pronounce stuff. That's just correct now.
Yeah,
our flag's there, so it's fine.
Biggest empire in the world, Genghis Khan. Get real.
Look, just because you couldn't swim, didn't have boats. That's the reason we beat you.
Yeah.
Maybe use boats next time.
Yeah. Learn boating.
If he had boats, how much further would he have gotten? To be fair,
well, I mean, they all sank on the way to Japan or whatever it was.
Yeah, twice.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
only
what
2 times that a typhoon has been in that region, and they happened both times that he tried to invade.
But he had the boats.
Yeah.
They didn't last long.
Use them.
Just not yet.
Decide and say no.
I always think about the Genghis Khan quote where he's like, tells the people, I know that you are sinners. I know this because had you not sinned, God would not have sent a punishment like me upon you. And I'm just like, holy shit.
But yes, I am your Antichrist. I'll just own that. Like, you feel free to call me that. Yeah, why not? I mean, fear is a powerful weapon.
I think he was relatively tolerant of other religions.
Yeah.
To talk about CK3 a bit, is there a favorite feature for you guys that is in CK3 that made it over to EU5?
Well, I guess I play CK3 the most, so I'm going to be controversial. I'm going to have a hot take. The 3D portraits that everyone enjoys.
Hey! That's on my notes as something to talk about.
I don't know. Like, I mean, to be honest, from CK3, that's probably... I'm trying to think of another mechanic that's in it.
Well, cabinet actions are kind of CK3.
Yeah, true. Yeah, there's cabinet actions.
Yeah.
That's true.
I always kind of link them more to the advisors of EU4, but yeah, I think...
The advisors, you can't give specific tasks, though, right?
You can't, no.
No. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you're right. It is more CK.
Yeah, and
I'm going to change my whole perspective.
Better. There you go. We're all learning something today.
I really...
depending on how good the stats are for them and stuff like that, makes them better. Yeah, that is good.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest. I know people aren't the biggest fan of the 3D portraits. I quite like them. I like how it... I mean, I'm more of a casual player of Europa Universalis. I'm not a min-maxer. I don't know, it just gives some... They're not everywhere. You see them in interesting places. And it does... in my campaign I put up on the channel back in May or whenever it was, as Scotland, I was sending descendants off to go help in the
Teutonic
Northern
Order?
Crusade, Teutonic Order, and then a famous character would come up being like, he died fighting. Oh no, that means a bunch of events aren't going to happen. Whoops.
There's I like that there's more elements for RP. I think that generally speaking, that that's really what CK3 stuff brings to the table, and so when thinking of how can we incorporate CK3 stuff, it's the question is how can we give more RP options to the player in EU5?
Yeah, I think for sure. And I mean, in EU5 you play as the country, you don't play as the dynasty in it.
Yeah.
So it is different, but I think it's almost like a twist on that with EU5 where, because there's so many ways you can play it, it's not like Europa Universalis 4 where it's you just expand. You can do colonization if you want, but it's just fighting each other mainly. Whereas now you
I
can
click the
play
dev button, bro. Just click the dev
Yeah,
button.
there you go. Yeah, you just press the dev button. Yeah. Whereas this is like you could just play a trading and just always just do trade and you'd enjoy the game, or you could be one of these military orders and just play that side of the game and you'll enjoy it. So I think that's bringing in like the replayability. There's so many different ways you could play the same country, which I think it's not exactly RPG, but it's kind of like their way of doing it, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there Lambert, how do you feel about the portraits?
When they got first revealed, I was like, oh. Like, I knew they were coming, right? Not because I had insider information. I knew they were coming because they'd spent so much money and dev time on this character system that it's not just 3D portraits. It's 3D portraits with a DNA system where their heirs, or their descendants, resemble the people they are descended from.
Yeah.
The kid looks like the father, but not one-to-one, because it's also taken bits from the mother, and the kid also looks like... And that blows my mind that that's even possible.
I didn't even realize that was going on.
Yeah, Crusader Kings does that,
It was... Yeah, Crusaders, and the first time I saw it was in Imperator. I remember a very, very strong narrative that I had, where I had a character, while I was playing as Rome, who rose up against me, and he was, tried to revolt. Put him down, and I, flogged him until he died. Then,
as you do,
50 years later, I'm in a campaign against Greece. I'm going to conquer Greece. And then this character comes up and I'm like, I know your face. Why do I know your face? What is... And I go and I look at the family tree and I go up 2 generations. I'm like, that's the guy! You are descended from the guy who revolted against me? Like, it brings you so much more into the campaign. It makes you feel so much more connected to the things you're doing. And from that moment on, I knew it was going to be in, because they spent so much money getting this system working, so much dev time getting the system working. And, why not? At the end of the day, you could have 200 2D artwork portraits, add a few dozen more every DLC. But you're not going to cover, the entire world in that. You're not going to get into a situation where every person in your country is always going to look unique, because you just don't have the art space for that. But having a system where these are generated on the fly with mechanics, you get far more individuality out of all of the characters, and they do bring a lot to the table. To go back to this Wales AAR that I'm doing, there is a character who's also from history. In 1400, he rose up against the English. His name was Owen Glyndwr. I can't pronounce Welsh names. It's as good as you're going to get. And I'm thinking to myself, if this was EU4, how would this play out? Because right now, I've got this character. I can see him. His name's Owen Glyndwr Mathrafal. Mm-hmm. I can see him. I've gone and I've made him join the Order of St. John. Or St. George, sorry. I've got him in my cabinet doing things. I can see that he's leading this army, and then he rebels. And I'm thinking, how is this going to play out if it's EU4? I get some rebel stack, and then on the UI, when I hover over the rebel stack, it says, Pretender Rebels, General Owen Glyndwr.
That's it.
There is so much more connection with the characters, and yeah, people are going to say, oh, this portrait looks bad, or this historical character doesn't look like this, painting of them from, contemporary painting. And that's something that will change in the future. They'll say, oh, these historical character, let's make a unique portrait for him, and this is what he's always going to look like, using the DNA system.
Yeah.
On release, they don't need to do that. But it's a system that I would not replace. Even if there are some rough around the edges, some characters don't look absolutely amazing, it is a system I would very much not want to replace at this point. And maybe in the past I have not had that perspective, but now I'm 300 hours into the game, that perspective is locked in.
I think that it's going to be the #1 mod day one is going to be getting rid of the portraits.
It will be. Which
I need a bigger flag in the corner.
Yeah, I want a bigger flag in the corner. Yeah.
In those anime girl flag mods are gonna be on the case immediately.
That's gonna be the comments on this podcast.
No, yeah, 100%. I like the portrait because I think it's I think a lot of these, I think something like really gets lost in the sauce of like Paradox games, which is like the casual players, just in terms of like the discussion and like the people who have sub 200 hours in these types of games, which like I think they often get like forgotten about in discussion. I think like portrait is super good for like new players.
Yeah,
like,
it makes you interested. Yeah. Like, you know, like it's like in Crusader Kings. Like you'll have somebody come into your court through a random event, and then you might have them again, like leading an army for you, and then you give them some land, and then 100 years later, their dynasties now like got a kingdom. And I know it's not going to play out like that in EU5 exactly, but I think it just gives you that little extra bit of like interest in what's going on in your country, especially as you have all the commanders and the cabinet positions. I think if it was just names, like you've just got Charles Edwinson as your counselor, like why, like you just glaze over that. Whereas you're gonna have campaigns now, like you were saying, this Wales one, where you're gonna remember that character now, even if you never play Wales again. You'll be like, oh yeah, remember that guy that was rebelling against me.
Really good example of that. I have 10,000 hours in EU4. In EU4, you have the I'm trying to call them cabinet members now. They're not cabinet members; they're advisors. You have advisors where you get, you know, a character with a name that will be your artist or your. I'm really struggling to remember what the jobs are called, and that's kind of my point. This is not an artist. This is a guy who gives you +1 prestige a month. This isn't a. I have no idea what it's called, but he gives you production efficiency. This is the trade efficiency guy. This is the morale guy. That's. I have no connect. These advisors are not people.
Do they have names?
They're not name. Yeah, they have names. They have names. They have ages. They age and they die, and you need to replace them. You give me discipline. You give me discipline. I don't know what you're called. I think a discipline guy's a commandant. That doesn't mean anything to me, though. It's the discipline guy. And thinking of how that would, like, even if you just completely just picked up that system, put it in EU5 and added characters, I'd care way more. I'd care so much more about, you know, who is this guy who's giving me 5 discipline?
You know, like, it would be nice to have. I would love to see a much expanded cabinet where you have like what's the CK mechanic where you appoint a bunch of people to like your court? Is that what it is?
Well, you have like your main council, which is 5 people generally.
But beyond that, there's like you could have someone be your jester.
Yeah, you can have somebody be like your jester or your head of your hunts or something like that. Yeah, cupbearer. I call that like historical-ish kind
minor
of
jobs.
Bodyguards and stuff like that.
What's the name for that mechanic? Is that?
I think it's called. Is it just? I should know. Is it
courtiers?
No. Is it? I don't know. I should know because I've played like
court position. Game, I forget what it is.
I should know. I should know what the morale guy is called. I should know what the morale guy is. It doesn't matter.
Or court jobs.
And they can do different things.
Minor
There's
jobs,
a bunch of them, and they have like sub jobs. You can like specialize them into things. But
if there was one system you could bring over from CK to EU5, what would it be?
I can't say the fertility one now.
I think there is like fertility. Oh, you mean
like,
the
it's like
soil?
Prosperity, isn't that kind of thing? Yeah, it's like prosperity, isn't there?
Yeah, there's prosperity, and the negative prosperity might be called devastation. I think it's just negative prosperity, though.
Yeah, I think it's just negative prosperity. To be honest, I can't really think of one off the top of my head that's. I'm going to say struggles, and then not elaborate further, and then just see the comments below. So
have the comments section struggle. I understand. I get it. Yeah.
I have something from CK2 that I'd want to bring to EU5.
Sure, what's that? Yeah.
You know what? You know when you have the Black Death, or you have the smallpox, or you have all these diseases in CK2 on the map. They had this little dude with a corpse cart shoving people into the. I want that. And you know what? It might even be possible just to port it, because there is like map graphics for when you've got the Black Death. Like it's a little bit more dreary. There's a little fog. That's just an asset. You can replace that with dude with the corpse cart. Or SpongeBob works too.
Yeah, SpongeBob.
Like that. Oh, that'd be cool. Like,
That'd be cool.
Does those scale? I know you can scale the size of like forts with the settings. Do those scale with your settings? Do you know? Could your corpse sky be like the size of a location?
I
Probably
think
not CK2, but
that would be cool. I think for the scaling in EU5, like I think it's just the buildings on the most zoomed in scale. Like the scale where you're just seeing forts, they don't grow and shrink with that setting. I don't think, at least. But yeah, no, more on map things happening would be nice.
What comes to mind is like Stronghold. When you like click on the characters, they have like a little speech thing. It'd be a little fun to click on like the wheelbarrow guy, and be like, "There's plague here, my lord." I think it's not quite within the like theming, but
there's like RTS games where they just say a little spiel every time you press them.
yeah.
I think CK2 had that
Wouldn't
kind of
that-
thing, sort of.
Yeah.
Like they had 17 different voice acted like things for when somebody was killed.
Yeah.
Like there are files in the CK2 things for like death _ SFX _ castrated. Like that's a thing that exists.
It's like when you used to be able to like murder, like you'd have all those prisoners and you like mass execute them, and you just get deafened if you press execute all at one time with like 1,000 prisoners, because it just
The
chains
cries
the
of
voice
1,000
onto
deaths.
each other. Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Maybe they should bring over playing chess with death or whatever that you could do in CK2. That was always crazy. That's how this war's completed.
That wouldn't take a lot of performance or assets to like have a chess minigame.
And the
We need
performance
to
is
ask
so good
Lambert
anyway.
to do it. He
So.
did the chess thing, right, for EU4 recently, so that could be a thing. I think I liked societies in CK2. I played CK2 way more than I played CK3.
I was about to say, it sounds like you skipped CK3.
Yeah, just a little bit. I've played it like over 1,000 hours, but it's been a minute. It's been a minute because it hasn't worked for me in a while.
Yeah, I don't have anywhere near that much CK2 hours, and almost all of my CK3 hours are on the like Vampires mod, Princes of Darkness, which is like
that was a pretty good mod.
an
There's some crazy
insane mod.
mods for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what mods we get for EU5. I'm sure we'll get some of them ported over.
That's
over, but like Lord of the Rings is in every game, has a big mod.
Yeah,
that's like
Anbennar EU5 is.
I think some
so
of the
high on my list.
I think some of the modders have access to the game right now. I don't know if they have it from like a QA perspective or to mod. Also, if I did know, I'm not sure I'd be allowed to talk about it.
I couldn't say anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
Yes, these names that I saw in the credits, I recognize them from the hit mod. This, that, and the, no. It's, for sure. But yeah, I think like they did it for Vic 3, right? They had the what Divergences of Darkness guys had a mod for release for Vic 3 when it released, right?
Yeah, and now they don't even support that. I feel like the mod's not even supported, or they haven't updated like the map like version of the mod. I think it's still supported, but like they're not updating the resources of the map.
I vaguely remember the main modder for that kind of falling out of love with Vic 3 at some point. That might be why it's slowed down a bit. I'm sure there's the other people that pick it up.
It's also a huge pain in the ass, like, if you have your own custom map to update it.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're a modder, like, every time they update the map in vanilla, it just bricks your entire thing. Yeah. So you would have to redo it all. So the thing to do is just to never update the map with your own custom map, unless you're going to entirely use your own custom map.
Like Anbennar.
Yeah, like Anbennar. Is that the mod you're most excited to see?
Oh, by leaps and bounds. Yeah, there's nothing that comes close. I'm excited to see what the Mayo and Texas team do, but Anbennar has like been my passion for a few years now, and idea of like going to recolonize the Serpent Spine as dwarves. But instead of like, oh, I just got to click the dev button 10 times to get my hull to the next level, it's like it's going to actually be dwarven population migrating into. Oh my god, I'm so hyped for that. That's gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Maybe, and then like elves could be or whatever, like pushing into the same place and stuff like that.
Is there scaffolding for putting like attributes on different races? I don't think there is.
I vaguely recall them saying there is, but the game doesn't use it, but it's
Okay,
there
but
for
it is-
modders to use. There's so many examples of like, oh
Like-
yeah, we're not going to use this thing, but we're going to make it available.
Like a different pop growth rate for like, I don't know, goblins
so.
or something. And then like maybe it'd be really cool if they had like different races required different amounts of pops to employ certain buildings. Like
Yeah.
the high elves could employ noble buildings with like half the pops or something like this. Not
Yeah.
that it matters because you don't have wages. It doesn't matter that much, but
I feel like you're going to have some way of, like, if you have an army full of elves, you will be absolutely unbeatable. But every elf you lose is worth like 10,000.
yeah. Well, they and
goblins
also
will reproduce so fast, and elves not at all.
there's no mortality rate in EU5, so I was about to suggest that elves live forever, but they birth super slow. But yeah, you really don't want to lose your elf troops. God, that's probably gonna be really weird to balance if you give them like just absolute like 0 growth rate, but their soldiers are super cracked.
Yeah. Like I know I'm at war and it's existential, but if this army comes out and they suffer, like I'm done for the rest of the game. These guys are the elite. They're the palace guard. I can't bring these guys out.
So you can at any point you can kill half your army to bring it home in EU5, like the panic retreat button. And like I can imagine if you're like super protecting your pops, so your game's just paused, you're looking at a stack wipe and you're looking at the panic retreat button, you're like, oh man. I don't like any of this.
Yeah.
I'll just press it and see what happens.
It's what you gotta do.
Whereas a goblin, that button is his best friend.
Yeah, this is called the redeploy button.
Strat redeploy from Hoy. There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
I'll just put my army in a blender and then bring it back out with a new after.
I'm just excited for as well, like undead armies. How is that gonna work? Can my armies be made up of the dead that you lose? Like, how is that gonna function?
You know what they could have? They could use the enslave in combat mechanic.
Yeah.
Or when you capture troops, you get to choose what to do with them, and then you can turn them into undead army.
That would be great, as long as they can make it work for when you fight levies as well. Yeah, definitely.
Oh.
That only happens when you fight professionals right now, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so. But maybe levies wouldn't make good undead troops anyway.
Look, a couple of bones and a skull would be fine. we don't need good troops. We just need lots of them.
We just need bodies.
Bodies, but not really.
Yeah.
Human optional.
Yeah.
Undead bear really would be more effective anyways, I would think.
Probably.
Do you have a mod you're looking for, Malforian?
I'm probably gonna say the Lord. I don't know, the Lord of the Rings one. It's always interesting to see how it's different on each game.
Yeah.
I think it lends itself to Crusader Kings most because it's so character focused. But probably that one. To be honest, I don't play mods like game changing mods that often. I'm more of like the.
You could suggest a non-game changing mod.
Oh yeah, like in Crusader Kings, there's one called the Community Flavor Pack, which is literally just like hundreds or thousands of different clothing and stuff like that for characters and different weapons and cultural based things. So hopefully we get something like that. It's really annoying that it won't allow achievements in EU5, which I don't really like. But
if it's just cosmetic, do they have a thing where it like it differentiates between cosmetic?
It
and not.
It did in Crusader Kings.
That's what I remember.
There was ways I think where you could do it where it wouldn't, but it was so annoying for modders to do. It'd just be like, sorry, this probably isn't going to work for achievements. And then they got rid of that like 2 years ago. So
I honestly I cared about achievements early on with like Victoria 3, but then like my community doesn't care about achievements at all. So like I just like stopped caring.
I like doing them just for stories, like telling out the different like ways to do stuff. Give me something to work towards, but yeah, I don't know.
Formables do that job for me as well. That's why I'm really into like EU5. Just add more formables. I don't care. Like you don't need to differentiate between realistic and ahistorical and fantasy and all this kind of crap. Just give me more formables. I don't care. Like, just put them all in.
You just click the ahistoric button. The thing I have a problem with is that Carthage isn't plausible, and
I hear Leif has already
submitted several tickets
letters of
support. Yeah. This appears to be miscategorized. Not sure what's going on here.
Yeah, it should be in here, obviously.
The reason that it's changed for mods and achievements, though, is because the UI is now so much more powerful. Whereas, like, in EU4, there isn't anything you could do to the UI that would change the mechanics of the game. Whereas now, you can put stuff in the UI that will basically do whatever you want. Like, make the games ridiculously easy, give yourself all the money in the world, and all that kind of stuff. That just wasn't possible in EU4. And I think it was changed in Imperator, and that's like the catalyst for the change, because you could access the console and Iron Man at the same time, and so people were able to put in a console command that would annex the entire world and then just get the I conquered the world achievement. That was patched out, and then since then no more console.
Isn't there a way to just like go through Steam to unlock achievements? Like Steam
there's
exploit?
like a thing you can download. You can just do it that way. Yeah.
That's illegal, though.
Yeah, you should do that.
Well, okay. There's just for me, like
the
achievement
funniest one in Crusader Kings is there's an achievement based on the Iberian struggle to finish in a certain way, and there's a mod that's based in the Aztec Empire. In like all the map is that part of Mesoamerica, and as soon as you load into the map, it finishes you the achievement for the struggle in Iberia for no apparent reason, and then you just have done that achievement. Then that's one off the list. I get people want them to be like important, but like it's only important to you. Like I don't know. For me, I'm just like, if people want to cheat to do achievements, whatever, it doesn't affect me.
I think to some extent, from a community basis, it's like a reflection of skill, but like, as someone who puts videos on the internet of them playing, like, I couldn't... If I'm unskilled, I couldn't hide it if I tried. Like...
Yeah.
And so, it doesn't, like...
I had someone comment on a live stream I was doing the other day. They're like, you give me hope, Malforian. I was like, why? Because you're so bad at this game that you do all the achievements. I feel like I could do anything now. And I'm like, nice.
It's like
I have 10,000 hours in EU4. I have 0 achievements. Not because of Iron Man. Don't care about Iron Man. I really didn't like Lucky Nations mechanic, and so Lucky Nations won't be a part of EU5, thankfully. And so I'll try and go for achievements in EU5, and I do kind of like the Iron Man restriction. I think that is a good thing, because for the people who do care about achievements, and they've cared about achievements in EU4, opening it up is kind of like the way the thing that you were enjoying before, we're just going to kind of kill that to open it up to, more people. And like, I understand the logic behind doing that, but I think the making it worse for the people who've been doing achievements the whole time, I don't think it's worth hurting their experience, if that makes sense. I know it's kind of gatekeepy, and I've been accused of being a gatekeeper before for it, but...
I think that there are some people who are like super elitists, but they're also pressing Alt F4, and I like kind of don't care about their opinion. Like,
if I force close the game, I can reload that day anyway.
Yeah.
So, and I did it on Iron Man. So
but fine. you could also create saves while you're in Iron Man. Like through like separate saves through exploits, and like people doing achievements like in Iron Man, like in like the recording of it, talk about making like a hard save like of a certain, and then like, what are we doing here? Like, it's
I think it would be ideal if like if you could allow cosmetic mods without any problems. Just cosmetic.
I would like
it's
that.
so hard for them to like separate out what is just cosmetic and what isn't. That I can see why if they want to do it that way. I prefer it to be more open, just because I guess for me I generally just use cosmetic mods. So for me, I'm like, I wish I could earn achievements at the same time as just making the game look nicer, or like just different. especially for like Crusader Kings, again, with all the 3 portraits, there's so many mods that add ridiculous stuff. Not like ridiculous stuff, but like there's so many cultural or realm-specific armors that are just modders have put in that look so cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, if they could do that, it'd be ideal. I won't die on the hill if they should allow it, but
I kind of don't care
I
that
can
much
see why
about
you
achievements.
do.
So
I think that kind of cosmetic's probably going to be possible because, like, some clothing, that's not UI, so you're probably
you might be able to do it. 'Cause I
okay
think you
on that.
could do it in Crusader Kings where it would allow it, but it was just a pain, I think, for them to make sure it would work. So most mods just went, it probably won't work for achievements. But then it might have done anyway. So yeah.
Speaking of UI, one mod, less one mod, but one modder that I am very excited to see what they do with EU5 is Agamede. He's done so many mods for, like, he's the one who came up with the full screen barbershop in CK3.
Oh.
He did a full UI rework in Imperator. I don't know if he's done much with EU4, but he's super good at, like, I'm going to change this UI to be better in this, that, and the other way, and I'm really excited to see what he does in EU5 because he's just really good at this kind of thing.
I think
the full screen barbershop is so much better than the in-game.
I think we're going to see.
I'm kind of surprised they haven't just got him to do it and like bring it into
hire
the
him,
game.
hire the guy.
Hire him, put it in the game.
You could just contract him too.
Yeah, because it's so much better than the base one. It's crazy.
I think that we're probably going to see a full screen trade mod for trade UI.
Yeah.
Trade UI currently like requires a little bit more clicking than I would like. And if it was full screen, you could have multiple things open at once. Just kind of
definitely could see that being a thing.
Yeah.
I think he's probably going to be the one to do it as well, to be honest.
But I'm excited for like a lot of like UI mods. I think I don't know what mod I would love to see a Fallout mod. I think that'd be so sick.
Yeah, with the colonization mechanics and actually seeing like this is a homestead with like 5 or 6 people in it. You could just model 5 or 6 people in it. Like, you don't need to have this is a province and therefore it has to have 1,000 people in it. Whereas in the games they're like just not at all. Like, you could totally model it properly.
You could also use like
after the end.
disease for radiation.
Oh yeah.
Like as another big one, and then like if you can differentiate between pops, you could have like all these like because there's like what is it? Trolls or ogres? I forget what it is. Nightkin, something like this.
Oh yeah, the super mutant Nightkin one, the blue ones. Yeah.
And that would be, I think, something I would be pretty excited about. Have
you played After the End for CK3?
I've not.
That's the nearest thing to Fallout. It's like post-apocalyptic, but then post-apocalyptic America and Brazil in CK3, and it's basically Fallout, but not Fallout.
Oh, I think I've seen this.
IP safe Fallout.
Yeah, IP safe Fallout. It's fantastic. It's so ridiculous. Like, Florida is all around, like, they believe they're descendants of Disney World, and the Disney World's still on the map, and it's all like the state of the mouse.
That is very Fallout, actually.
Yeah, and they believe they're all like Imagineers and stuff like this. And it's crazy. Fallout, and so many other places around it like that.
Fallout, just like general vibe flavor, is just like so quirky and ironic, and like I'm just a big fan.
There was a Fallout mod for EU4 that I really enjoyed as well. It's great for multiplayer, but also could get kind of toxic for multiplayer as well.
Multiplayer can kind of get toxic in general, right?
I mean, yeah. Look,
and that's next week's Dev Diary, so...
I recently got a smartwatch, and part of the whole weight loss journey thing, but
yeah, you look like you lost some weight.
Thanks, I have. But during the multiplayer games that I've been doing since I got it, in a player war, player versus player, high stakes, high tension, heart rate warning. Wait, 146 heart rate. My phone is like, you need to calm down, buddy.
You know what's like chess players burn like several like 1,000 calories over like normal, like during like the tournaments where they play for 12 hours. They like hook them up to like heart rate monitors, and they're like jacked for like 10 hours just playing chess. You just like, bro, that's exhausting. Just having your heart rate elevated and not moving your body is like exhausting.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about Parliament, just in general? Because that to me seems like something where you could have like more CK-esque like infusion, but also in general, coming from like Vic 3, where like the politics system is very fleshed out, I would want to see like a bigger politics system in EU5.
I think for me it's hard. I think it's hard. Like, I think it'll be something we'll probably get in a DLC. I think it's hard at launch maybe to get it from. Like, if you're super into the history side of the game, I mean, it's obviously a history game, but you know, it's hard, I guess, to simulate that from the era it starts in to when it ends. Like how it would progress. I guess is probably why they didn't tackle it. It'd be interesting to see if we get a DLC that fleshes out. It is a big. I guess it's a bit gamified out of most of the systems we have.
Yeah.
But it's also, I can see why it works that way, especially across the whole game.
Everyone gets the same estates, the states function in the same way, and everyone gets the same parliament, and it's...
Yeah, I can see that changing. I will say, compare it to the EU4 parliament, this is so much of a step up.
Yeah.
I hate the parliament in EU4. It is my least favorite feature, and I have to use it because I play multiplayer, and the parliament is the meta because you can get just a lot of manpower from that thing, and you need to do it. But imagine the EU5 parliament, and you know how each estate is like, I want this one thing.
Yeah.
And you can click on it, and you get a boost.
Yeah.
In EU4, it's not an estate that has, I want a one thing. It's every single province you have.
Oh my god.
And you need to get to 100, not to 50. You need to get to 100 to pass your thing, or you can get it to 80% and wait for however long it takes for the parliament to finish, and then hope that your dice rolls, better than the 80%. I hate it. I hate it so much. And every single one of those buttons is like, it could be something like, I just want a little bit of monarch points, or I want a little bit of naval tradition, or it could be, I want 3 stability. 3 stability versus this, they are not the same. These are not the same. I hate the parliament in EU4. And parliament in EU5, it brought down from the heavens in comparison. This thing is gold. I fucking love it.
I like clicking buttons in Parliament. Parliament was recently nerfed a bit. There's a little bit less button clicking.
Yeah, I don't like the new nerfs to the Parliament. Like the satisfaction stuff going on with it.
I wish that I like satisfaction doing slower, but I wish that they just made the equilibrium trend way slower rather than making it flat. I'm not a fan of the flat trend, because the flat trend creates a weird idiosyncrasy where to play perfectly with taxes, you actually have to micro every month.
Every single month. Yeah, I don't like that. I've recently been crying about that part, and I've been having to micro it because as Wales, my income is like 5. Yeah. So this is the difference, but I could double my income by microing it every month, or I could just make it automated and have like 5 times less income. Not good.
To be fair, I put in a ticket for this, but like they could just make the automation system smarter, like operate where it will use whatever equilibrium that is such that you still get the satisfaction gain, rather than the way. Like, to just briefly explain how it works, like, as long as you're over the equilibrium of your current satisfaction, as long as the equilibrium's above it, you'll get a flat gain. And it doesn't matter how much above it you are. So if you're at 20 satisfaction and your equilibrium's 21, you'll gain satisfaction. If you're at 40, you'll also gain satisfaction. So the idea is you want it just above your current satisfaction in terms of tax. If that makes sense, like that's more for the viewers. And so what it means is that you put it at 21 and then you get up to 21 satisfaction, and then the next month you need to up it again. That way you're going to always be slightly above. I don't micro it, but like because I would just go insane. But like, if I'm super
like
strapped for
6
cash, then I do micro it every month, and it's like,
Yeah, you don't want stuff doing that.
I don't have the bandwidth for doing it every month. I just couldn't, like...
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I like that they made the war agenda, you know, getting a claim on somebody from the parliament.
Yeah.
I like that they made that a little bit, you know,
I was fine
less
with that.
perfect. I think they could go even further. I think, like, even I would be happy to even have stab hits for declaring war from the parliament. Not like 20 or 40 or 50 or whatever. Like, even if it's just like 7, 10, like that amount of stab hits just to declare war.
I think it's like 30 or 50 increased cost for no CB, and you get the stab hit. So at that point, it just starts to look like no CB.
It kind of should be. It just should be like, it's still a no CB, but it's a justified no CB. Like, you're justifying it to your own people, kind of way.
Yeah.
Maybe like hit legitimacy or something. If you're like, I have to crawl to Parliament to get a war.
I don't hate the nerfs on the Parliament CB that much. To be honest, I think it's not even like meta to use. It wasn't meta to use it a lot before because you could just use your subjects like Reconquest CBs, and then just co-belligerate a chain so that you can fight whoever you want to fight. So like sometimes you co-belligerate like 3 people in a row just to fight someone else, and then you get the CB on them, and so you get the cheaper like war score. But I would rather they come from an angle where support is really valuable, and they make support more valuable such that you don't want to use the support on the CB rather than making the CB weaker. I'm kind of fine with the CB being like where it is, or like or just like 0 flat war score would be fine too, but I'd rather they approach it from the side of making Parliament really rewarding.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, it has been rewarding for me as Wales, because one of those things gives you a free town, and if you start with a bunch of locations and all of them are rural, and you got an income of 5, getting a free town is a big deal. It is huge.
Some of those debates are like so powerful in certain contexts.
Yeah.
Like build a university, like you use a cabinet action to push innovative, and then it gives you 0.5 trend towards it, so it's like +6 innovative. The build roads one is just like also insane because centralization's so good.
Yeah, and you don't build roads without that turned on.
Yeah.
Like, is it 20 or 50% decrease in cost? It's just,
it's big. I forget how it stacks with you having cheap masonry, wood, and sand, though. I think it stacks, like, additively. So I think it's, like, 20%, but then it's, like, it's effectively 40%, right? Because if you're already minus 50% from the crashed goods prices. Something like this. The tooltip was broken for a while, so I haven't looked at it closely in a bit. I think it's fixed on the current version.
Other thing that's broken for me is the game rules. They're all broken. You can't change game rules right now. So in my Wales game,
that's why I can make Carthage.
It's called the Rome. It's not called the Roman. It's called bloody Byzantines because I can't bloody change it. It's so bad. I hate it.
You could get this great alliance with them, but you're like, no, I can't.
I can't because they're dying 100% of the time.
Yes. Yeah.
They just explode.
Yeah.
Like with the Parliament, I just like want more different buttons to click too. Like I wish you could mulligan a Parliament where like you don't click anything and you're just like you see your Parliament and it's all terrible, and so you just like send it away for 2 years, and in 2 years you get just like a complete fresh reroll.
Just do like English kings would do. Yeah, I don't like you guys. Come back.
Come back in a hot minute. I don't know if that should cost you stuff. I also wish you could reroll agendas, because sometimes you feel bricked on agendas.
Even if it's just like a couple of... I hesitate to say this now because of the equilibrium change, but before I was of the opinion that, just give me a like 5 satisfaction hit to all of my estates to completely re-roll all of the agendas.
I'd be fine with that. Or an amount of money
now how
tax
long
base.
does that take to come back?
0.2
a month, 5% is...
That's your entire Parliament extra bonus.
Yeah.
But like, I think it should be. I was thinking it should maybe cost like 25 support to reroll.
Yeah, that could work as well.
Or
more different support options would be cool too.
What's
I think that's
We'll
probably
probably
going to come though.
Yeah, that'll come with DLC, I would think as well. It's a lot of different stuff for those, maybe even country specific.
Yeah.
And there is some country specific ones. Don't the Ottomans have a unique one in there?
They probably do. Yeah.
The Ottomans have like unique everything, so
yeah, they do.
That's a good point.
Ottomans, like, I know there's more historical events for England, but Ottomans seem like they have the most mechanics.
Oh, it's Mamluks that I was thinking of. They use that Parliament
system
to get new characters. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not really that worth clicking, but like if you have 25 left over, it's nice that you have something that doesn't. Everything else is like in an interval of 50, so it's nice to have something in an interval of 25. Also
if
being
you
able to
are
unlock it with tech.
belligerent, if you're incredibly belligerent as a societal value, getting a claim should be cheaper than 50.
Yeah, that'd be cool if it worked.
That should scale with how belligerent you are.
I think belligerence should probably scale like the stab hit from No CB. Does it now?
That.
It's surprised if it doesn't, because it
sure.
seems like something it would do. And like everything else in the game, I guess it does affect it, doesn't it? Like if you're free trade or...
I know you could...
it would affect.
I don't think it's good, but I know you could... there's multiple sources of cheaper... no CB, like, stuff.
There is not, no. Belligerent affects your war score cost, your cast's belly construction speed, and the amount of antagonism you get.
I generally go conciliatory, but...
That's because you're just doing trade,
of cabinet.
Huh?
It's just because you're always trading.
Well, like, conciliatory also gives you... Like, you take more antagonism, but you decay your antagonism faster. I haven't done the or it's something like this. I haven't done the math for it, but like I think if you're doing a lot of small ball wars, it's nice. And like early on, when you get so much war score from winning battles, it feels a lot better to just fight enough battles and get 40 war score, and then just get out for 40 war score instead of pushing 100, because it takes longer. The amount of time it takes to push 100% war score, and the amount of time it takes to push 40% war score, it takes less than 40% of the time to push 40% war score. So if you can fight multiple wars elsewhere, it seems like you should just fight other wars elsewhere. Like, just in terms of raw time efficiency for, like, raised troop costs and this type of thing, it seems like you should just fight battles, get out, fight another war somewhere else.
Yeah. I'm very excited to see how it works in multiplayer. Like, EU5 in a big 40, 50, 60 player multiplayer, I think it's going to be absolutely fascinating.
Was it you who recently tested multiplayer on the newer creator version and it was working a lot better?
I wasn't part of that.
Okay.
But I also haven't heard about that, so I'm going to now go to the Discord and scan and see what's been said.
I think someone had, you could just like search function multiplayer or MP probably and see it. But yeah, I'm really excited for like expansions to like Parliament. I really want it to be a major lever for the game, like for the politics. And right now it seems, I like it, but it's like it seems like it's something to look forward to, and like breaks the pace of the game, and then you're like, okay, every 5 years, 5 years has passed, because it's a significant enough thing. But I'd like to see more stuff going on with it. So the thing that the community loves talking about and doesn't really get a lot of answers on, I feel like, or discussion, is mission trees. And so I did want to discuss mission trees as a topic. In my opinion, I'm not a huge fan of mission trees, and I know that upsets people, but I really like that. I think the general direction is that the stuff that's in mission trees just generally gets replaced by advances and situations, and that this is the design philosophy. But what do you guys think about the mission tree situation?
I'll let you start with this one, because I feel like I'm going to go on a rant.
You'll probably go on a rant.
We got to run.
When I've talked about it, I see why people like them. I think it does kind of push countries in certain directions or something like that. Like maybe historically they did, or ahistorically they didn't. I don't like them generally because I feel like if I'm playing as, I don't know, Portugal, and all my mission trees, I've not played EU4 in a long time, but if all my mission trees are basically around what they did historically, like I can play it and not do those, but I'm at such a disadvantage. Like, why wouldn't I do them? The bonuses are usually so good. Like, I could intentionally avoid doing a bunch of trade as Portugal to do something else, but I'm kind of punishing my own campaign by doing it. Whereas I feel not having them allows that thing I was talking about earlier. Like, you can play a country in so many different ways. If there was mission trees, I kind of feel like you can do it again. You're almost punishing yourself by not at least doing some of them, rather than just being like, I can do whatever I want. Well, not everything I want, but I feel there's a lot more freedom by not having them.
I'd like
I guess, you know.
I'd like there to be like an emergent sort of mission system, let's call it, that comes out of like your estates, and so like your estate, you have a feedback loop between yourself and your estates, which pushes you in that direction. And maybe Portugal starts out with strong burghers, and that pushes it towards trade initially. But then if you swap that for something else, it starts to set you on a different sort of path.
Yeah, that could be cool. Like your nobles, because they're more military focused, are like, if they're in power, they're like, go attack, Spain.
Yeah.
Because we want to expand. Yeah, you could do that. Or, I guess it sounds like they tried to do the Imperator way, where it's dynamic based on where you were. But I guess it just got too generic and kind of weird.
Yeah.
So that was an interesting way for it to work.
Right now, the way it works, or the way that missions are, in case like the audience is a little bit less clear on it, is it's just like a scaffolding for tutorials, and then there's game settings regarding how much rewards you get from them, and you can make it so that you get rewards throughout, or there are no rewards, and so you can change how you want to play. Currently, it's really good for pushing values, but that's the main thing, and it's generic for everyone. And it's like increased development here, increased control, this type of thing.
Yeah. Set your cabinet in order.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I understand why people don't like them. I understand, because looking at EU4 and the kind of ridiculousness that missions eventually got to.
Yeah, the stacking.
I totally understand. The modifier stacking, the Teutonic Order into holy horde of 100% cavalry army Mongol Empire from the Teutonic Order, that's in the mission tree. And that's insane. I totally understand that some things in those are broken. England being able to just re-roll trade goods in their colonies until they get a full colony of gold is insane. However, I also play a lot of Anbennar. And I'm looking at Anbennar thinking, without mission trees, this game would suffer so hard. They use them as the narrative.
There's full support for modded mission trees. So
Anbennar is safe. If there wasn't, I would be so unhappy about it. I'm happy that Anbennar is going to be able to utilize the mission tree system in EU5 as it is, without too much trouble, to do everything. They could just probably port everything over without too much trouble. But there's also space for expansion, that they can do everything new again, and that's great. I think it works there.
What do you think about using situations to replace mission trees in Anbennar?
I think in some cases, sure. Some cases that totally works. Some cases I just don't see it. I don't see it as a it's not even a square peg round hole problem. It's I'm not looking for a peg right now. Some of the missions
I'm not looking for a peg either.
I probably should. I thought maybe I shouldn't say I'm not looking for a hole, but then I thought, what, that's probably not great. I'll use the other one. Turned out, I'm just with like-minded individuals, I guess. I'm not I'm gonna move on. Okay. So some things, I think situations will work out nicely with Anbennar's missions. Some things I just don't think situations fit the bill. And I think missions.
Have you played the Ottomans?
And a tiny bit, but I'm a Romabu. Like, why am I playing the enemy?
I think that they have the mission, or they have the situation that feels like the best and feels like most like a situation or a mission tree replacement.
Yeah. Mission trees do so many different things. Like some of them are go and conquer this, or go and develop this, or go and do specific tasks. But especially I'm so much more familiar with Anbennar mission trees now than I am with vanilla EU4. But there's especially over time, missions in Anbennar become so much more advanced than what I've seen in EU4. And there's a lot more narrative on every single mission, whereas with situations, how are you going to map that narrative weaving through the tree, getting story beats as you go through it? I don't see it as much with situations, or at least it's maybe just I'm too stupid to be able to map that one-to-one.
Well, the Ottomans one feels like it has beats. Most of the other ones just feel like it's a thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to play the Ottomans then. Clearly, I've loaded in as them to
see the enemy,
see how to beat them.
Yeah,
see, know thy enemy. But I haven't given them a campaign
yet. Yeah,
I think it works better for some of them. I think the 100 Years War one kind of works nice with all the events and how it can play out. Works better than if it was just a mission tree, go attack France. Or you'll be in France, now you can do this. Whatever.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, for that one I totally agree. Works better as a situation.
Way better. Yeah. So I mean, maybe again it might be something. Looking at the DLC they announced, maybe we're gonna get mission, something like a mission tree, but it's so unique. It's like a one-off almost, kind of like they worked in Imperator, where you get somewhere that's attack. Take over Carthage, and there are two different ways you could do it with different sculpturing trees.
Yeah,
maybe we'll get something like that in that DLC. But it'll just be unique to the DLC itself.
Maybe I think that in general they, from a design perspective, prefer situations.
Yeah,
I think some countries are suffering from the lack of it though. Because
there's not 15 situations for every country. Yeah.
Yeah, true. I'll go back to my Wales one because it's the one that's freshest in my mind. Wales has 3 dynamic historical events, and they're all about this guy Owen Glyndwr that I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
And they don't do enough. Because everything needs to be run dynamically and run through the game systems, and you're not going to get magical points out of nowhere. You're ending up in a situation where, in real life, Owen Glyndwr led a 15-year-long rebellion against England. I don't think that is actually possible. Not difficult. It is just simply impossible for that to happen in game, because England has a levy of 60,000 troops. The largest battle in this final Welsh rebellion in real life was 1,500 Welshmen and 2,000 Englishmen. That is the largest battle of that rebellion. As soon as I went to war with England in this Glyndwr rebellion, before Glyndwr was able to raise up a single one of his levy, which he got up to 8,000 troops, before he'd raised up a single one of them, there was 30,000 Englishmen in Wales. That's not something so if you had a mission tree instead of dynamic systems and DHEs to, give the narrative of this rebellion, you could have a situation where the mission tree would force the English to not send as many troops. Maybe the rebellion, England itself, would not be able to get involved, but maybe one of the English marches or one of the English vassals would then be the one that would be getting involved, and that could be the war. That'd be much more balanced or more closer to history, really.
I think you could do that with the situation, though.
Oh yeah, I feel like if you put the Glendower Rebellion as a situation, it would totally work fine.
Yeah.
That would be fine. I don't know if it is a big enough moment in history for a situation to be developed for it. Like, it totally would work.
Well, I think
Yeah.
we have... I don't know how many situations there are. Maybe there are 30 or something like that. Maybe
and this is
maybe
a
more.
tiny tag.
No, but you could imagine a scenario where there's 500 situations in the game.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah,
maybe it makes the top 500.
There's,
I mean, at least with Paradox being so open to mods, maybe with EU5 we'll just see more people making like
situations. You could have a situation mode,
around that, and then you can just choose. I'm playing in
because
so I'll do that.
Just in terms of like the mechanically how you're representing stuff, one thing I like about the situations is that they're not necessarily linear, whereas the mission trees are necessarily linear.
Yeah, there's some that have like branching paths, and if you do this one, then you can't do this one.
But even the branch is still like linear. Like you can't do the other. You can't do C before B.
Yeah.
Or I guess you can do it. You just can't engage with the mission tree aspect of it until you do B first.
Yeah,
right?
you can pre-do the next mission ready, so that when you finish this mission, you can do both at the same time and get two double bonus. So that's kind of nice. But yeah, I like I said with Wales, when my rebellion ended, because it was a generic rebellion. And obviously, this rebellion did not end naturally. Of course, I used the console to finish it in the correct way, because it's quite literally impossible. In a Flurry Worry with 20,000 hours could not complete this task. Kind of impossible. So I used the console to make Owen win, and so I was Wales still as a vassal, not a dominion, so we changed that under England, but in real life, Owen's rebellion was all about making Wales, independent and Welsh nationalism kind of thing. And at the start of the game, Wales is English primary culture to represent the fact that it's, it's a dominion of the crown. Like the king of England is your ruler as Wales. Yeah. But Welsh is an accepted culture. It's the opinion between Welsh and English is negative, but they are accepted.
I don't think you can accept negative people normally.
Yeah, you can't. So if you lose that, it's lost until you manage to make the opinion positive. So when Owen, the Welsh I say Welsh nationalist in a 15th century context, not obviously a modern context. Stop oppressing the Welsh people, England, please, kind of nationalism. He ends up with English primary culture and Welsh discriminated against. It's like, bro, why? What? It's like, I fully believe that I might be the first person to do this campaign, like, playing it properly.
Because
that is something possible. That you can't get to that point and see that this is the result and think, yeah, no, that's how it's supposed to work.
I mean, I think Spain is probably, or Aragon / Spain is probably the most play-tested country.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. Definitely. This is the only time that I've felt that about any of the games that I've played, though. Because I mean, 3 dynamic historical events, and right next to the country with the most content in the game. Like, it's not exactly the biggest priority, and I'm totally accepting of that. But yeah, it'd be nice if that was changed by release.
I think one cool thing is, like, people can make mods for the little countries.
Yeah.
And give them
until they get DLC
situations, or they can give them mission trees, or both.
Yeah.
Maybe the solution isn't like either or, and it's like a both type of thing. But
yeah.
And it's kind of understandable they've concentrated on the countries people are going to play the most, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like, I wish that they focused on maybe Asia a little bit more, but it's probably
That'll come in the future.
Oh, I think China has quite a bit of content, but
yeah, China's a tier 1 nation.
Yeah. But outside of China,
Japan, it wasn't too
Japan
bad.
is tier 2.
Yeah.
And like I think those are the only non-Europeans other than like the Mamluks and the Ottomans in tier 1 and 2. I'm trying to remember, but Sultan of Delhi's also tier 2.
Yeah,
that'd be fun to play.
I'm trying to remember.
Mamluks tier 2 as well.
Yeah, Mamluks and Ottomans.
Yeah,
because Ottomans are not in Europe.
49. True. Mamluks have 49 DHEs. Then Korea is at 40.
Korea's tier 3.
Mali is pretty high. They're tier 3. Okay, so yeah, because
tier
1, tier 3
system.
is not something that like is in game. It's just something that they've put as their own thing.
Yeah, I mean it's tier 3 with a lot of content. There are I think 7 tier 1 nations and 12 or 13 tier 2.
Yeah, England, France, Ottomans, Castile, Austria, Muscovy, and then China as the tier 1. And Venice, Poland, Denmark, Sweden, Portugal, Brandenburg, Romans, Japan as tier 2.
That's an old list. Mamluks I know are on there.
Mamluks are on there? Okay, so then Hungary, Delhi, Papal States, and Mamluks are then in that tier 2.
Oh, I didn't see Hungary on them. Maybe they are, though. Or the Papal States.
They have more content than the Mamluks.
I think the DHEs aren't the entirety of what goes into the consideration. Because Japan, for example, maybe doesn't have as many DHEs, but they have their own huge situation with like the shogunate and this type of thing, right? Whereas like the Mamluks don't have like a unique. I don't think they have a big situation. Korea like doesn't have. They might have a lot of DHEs, but like if you have a DHE, an artist arrives. That's a lot different than like having a full-fledged situation.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the English, it feels like the Ottomans have more flavor than England. I think a lot of like the English situations are like historical figure like events, and rather than like the kind of like more bigger chain type of thing, or like historical event.
After the rise of the Turks situation, what other situations did the Ottomans get into?
The rise of the
rise
of the Turks is like 200 years.
Was it really that long? Okay.
Because it has like phases. They have like a phase where like you cement the rise of the Turks, and then like it still continues on. It first like wants you to consolidate Anatolia and then go for the Byzantines a little bit, the Romans, and then it cares about like sequencing. There's like events that like push you towards taking Urdine first, and kind of encircling the Byzantines, and then like the Byzantines normally collapse as well, and then like you kind of gobble up the pieces. And there's also a lot of power in that situation, because while it's going, you get these events like where it incorporates all the territory for you. So like they're the only nation with basically free incorporation and free stab while you're doing it. It's just like plus 10 incorporation on a province, and then like 7 stab or something.
I feel like I just can't see this country in a multiplayer game. I
think it's like Dogpile or just runs over. They nerfed Legacy of Osman, which was like the best government reform. I forget what it is now. I don't think it gives any control. I can't remember if it gives like 5 control or none. But it used to give plus 10 control, which was obscene. Just flat control in general got nerfed out. Because you used to just stack it and invalidate like the need to really have your use of your capital, have anything close to your capital.
Legacy of Osman right now gives plus 5% monthly control, plus 25% speed of integration.
That's almost like a placeholder.
Cabinet speed. Negative 33% antagonism received, and then raid religious enemies.
That's still really strong.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I think.
And you also wait. You get that and the Anatolian Beylik? I thought it was one or the other. Oh
no,
God,
I mean they're
this
super
country is
caked up.
disgusting.
Yeah, no,
This country is disgusting.
That'll be the first patch of nerfs.
There's a really strong Scottish government reform too. I don't know if it got nerfed. It gives like tax efficiency, max tax, and control or something.
Oh, of course. Why?
Scotland's
Why?
really fun to play. That's the one I played most when I had
Did
access
you
to it.
have the government reform? Do you remember what it did on that version?
I don't know I got that far, or did I? I don't remember.
I know it's
About
on
6 months
it's
ago
on
now.
Great Britain's tag, but it says something about Scotland, so I assume. And I didn't see it when I
Yeah, I
formed
think it was
Great
talked
Britain.
about in a previous dev diary at some point.
Is it the Shires of Scotland?
I think so. Yeah.
Plus 5 max tax, plus 15 tax efficiency, plus 5% max rural control, plus 15% levy size, progress to aristocracy and individualism. God, compared to the Magna Carta, this thing slaps.
Yeah, it's much better. That actually might be the best government reform now. Then it might be better than like Sea of Oxman.
Like, Scotland's good because it's like there's so many different ways you can play it. That's why I played it almost entirely when I played the game.
Yeah.
Just because there's so many ways you can get pulled into the 100 Years' War, or you can try avoid it, take over Ireland, or you can just kind of play tall. And I tried doing like colonization of Scotland and stuff like that. So it's a really fun one to play as, because you're also like, as long as England doesn't annoy you, you're relatively safe. At the
Seems
top.
like a big ask.
That's
it is
kind of our jam. Sorry, excuse me.
Yeah.
What we're here for.
AI Scotland should really be much more aggressive about making a market. Because
I made market. It was so overpowered when I it was great.
You suffer so bad from lack of market access up in Scotland.
Yeah, the Dublin market is not helpful for places like Edinburgh.
Yeah, I think it's actually just the worst market access area in Europe now.
It probably is with how far away it is.
It does look pretty bad. Yeah, maybe like the very north of Norway, but like nobody lives there anyway, so who cares?
Yeah, but the entirety of the country, like average control is probably smaller than Norway even. But yeah, Norway comes to mind
it's
as
really
the next
bad.
worst.
Yeah, in Scotland. Yeah, once you get out of the capital area, the control of Scotland's like anything north of like where the mountains really kick in is just like
you have like 40% market access or something.
Yeah, really bad.
And so like it just I mean, even if you get more control, you just have to make a market. I think if you're playing Scotland, even when I was playing Great Britain, I was like trying to figure out where to place the market and was thinking I might make one. And AI Scotland just has a terrible showing just in general as a consequence of it. Because they I don't know, I think the cost for deleting a market should be way smaller, and then it should also be AI should be so much more aggressive about making a market.
Yeah.
And maybe there's like an assimilate market world or something like this, which deletes their market and prevents them from making another one for like 10 years or something, or 20 years.
That could be pretty cool.
Yeah,
I can see that thing.
Or even a peace treaty where you can't make a market until you fight them again or something like this.
One thing I do like doing is having my market spread and then seeing like the market that's beside me from my rival just get smaller and smaller. Like, you are not trade maxing as hard as I am.
Nope.
Yeah, no, that's always fun.
Yeah, like there's so many factors that go into it. Like language goes into it, language power. Yeah. So as you really expand out I think it's the language power of the market uses whatever the most predominant burger's culture is, and so that will tend to be your primary culture. So it'll tend to ramp up as you do. Just in general.
I'd be interested to see once players get their hands on it, like all these weird betters that we don't even know is going to come along the line.
Probably.
And it's just going to be like weird stuff you can do with trade centers or anything in the game, to be honest.
Yeah.
As much as all of the creators are looking at Generalist and thinking, damn, pros knowing this ecosystem inside out in a way that we're just not possibly doing.
A lot of it, like, just
the game comes out, you're gonna say that same thing about someone else on Reddit who's like, "Oh, damn, I didn't see that. You've had the game for, an hour and a half, and you've already figured that out. Damn." Yeah. Like, it's something like that's gonna happen.
Like, a lot of the logic is like the same as like CK3, but there's gonna be so many like EU4 bros that like figure out weird military exploits that I would like have zero chance of like finding, just because like militarily speaking, my troop movement must just be god awful. Like I think I would just get smoked in multiplayer because of it, but
I don't know. I feel like if you've got the eco and you know how to make big levy, that's going to carry a lot. There are things that you can do in multiplayer to cut reinforcements off, and I feel like that's going to be a big thing as well in multiplayer, because you can cut off people's food access. Like, oh yeah, you want to go and siege me? That's fine. I've got a larger army that you can't attack, and I don't really want to use my troops to fight you, because those troops are useful. They're valuable people. But I'm just going to sit in this location, which is where your food is coming from. So you can either choose to fight me and lose, or you can stay there and starve and lose. And I feel like that's going to be a big thing.
That's going to be huge.
I think that I want that to be a bigger thing than it feels like it is now. Right now, I feel like the armies can pull too much food from a province. Like, the province that they're in, instead of needing their supply line as much.
I have not built supplies at all. Like the supply wagons.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I need them.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Is
yeah.
I know
those things are just not you. I mean, to be fair, I haven't done any colonization in New World, so I don't know if that's going to be the case. When I start bringing armies over there, maybe I'm going to need those supply wagons way more. But for wars where I am fighting a country that is adjacent to my country, I'm not traveling more than a couple of locations into your country before I'm meeting either a fortress I need to siege or a provincial capital where I can steal your food.
Yeah.
So I don't need wagons to bring food for me, because I'm taking it that short distance always.
Yeah, I feel maybe this is maybe I don't know as much about like European military history, but like because I'm like a little bit more read on like Chinese military history, but like supply lines stretching really long distances and like cutting them off was basically like that was it. That was the war. It was like ambushes and supply lines, and like the actual battles themselves were much less consequential than like ambushing someone in a massive like gorge that like they're trying to go through, or cutting the supply lines. Burning the grain.
Yeah. Maybe it's going to be more impactful later I play into the game, and maybe it's going to be more impactful when it comes to multiplayer.
I think maybe there's
more overseas wars for multiplayer.
Maybe also you should get punished. Like there should be a foraging mode where you get to use a lot of the province food, and if you're on that, you move way slower, and you have like a huge penalty to like morale or discipline or something. Such that like you can have a baggage train and have a stronger army, or you could have this like ragtag bunch that's like spreading out to try and forage stuff.
Yeah, which is generally what happened, I think. Like, I'll get one of the wars wrong, but like the 30 Years' War or whatever it was it Sweden that came all the way down basically to Austria, and they just ravaged the land basically as they went to feed themselves. But
the thing is, like, I feel like there's like the normal commercial activity that allows food to come to market doesn't occur when the villagers are fleeing for their lives. So I think you exhaust like the food. Like if an enemy army is in a province, that province should probably just produce less food, and then there's less food to feed the army other than like what's stockpiled there, and you drain the stockpiles, and then you need a supply line after that.
Should stop growing entirely, because the villagers are fleeing for their lives.
Yeah.
So they're not out in the field cutting the wheat down.
That's
right?
Yeah, exactly.
It would be zero food produced.
I wish there was there's a game, Romance of the Three Kingdoms 14, awful game, but like the entire like military meta just revolves around cutting supply lines, and that's like kind of Hoey too, right? Or Hoy.
There's a whole lot of encircling and I mean,
that's less about supply, I guess, than like encircling. But like in my head, that's like a very similar play pattern as cutting a supply line.
Yeah, I watch a little bit of Hoi 4. I don't play it, but yeah, there's like supply hubs with like trains, and if you take that, then the troops that are downwind of those train lines are going to lose org. Yeah, probably stands for organization, I assume. Yeah. I don't play Hoi. I just watch it, and no one calls it organization. I don't know. It might be organics. My organics are running out. But
I hate it when the tanks don't have enough organics.
Yeah. I know, right? It's shocking. I feel like that's something that you could actually say in Stellaris, though.
That's
true. Actually, yeah. I've been feeding the organics to my spaceship.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are food depots in EU5. I've just like never felt the need to use them. It'd be. Yeah. I wish like setting up for like so like in terms of the economics, like relative to Vic 3, like EU5 is way more city builder-y, and I wish you had like that same feel for preparing the defenses for like a battle where you're like, oh, I should have a food depot behind these forts. This is like a critical location, and like that it felt more like you were building up defenses in a dynamic way.
Temporary defenses would be nice as well. And I know you can build temporary defenses just by I'm building a castle and then I'm going to delete it afterwards. But say you're at war and you know that this city is going to be under threat.
Yeah.
Just like a building you can construct that's like earthworks and ditches, and it's like making the defenses a little bit better, or building a building that is like a temporary granary, just as we need to stockpile in this.
There's a temporary granary building.
Oh, it is? Okay, well, I missed that.
Or it's effectively like, it's the supply depot.
It's just that one? Okay.
That's like, I mean, that's what it is. I think it stores food, and you can pull food from it. And so the idea is...
like, I'm thinking for cities that are under siege kind of way.
I think if...
not just for armies.
I don't know if provinces can pull food from it. Yeah, I don't know.
Right.
But if it's 4 cities, the granary does that.
Yeah, but I'm thinking like a temporary one that'll just like... way more food needs to be stored in this one place than we, temporarily while
we're... Thought it was going to be like surrounded.
Well, it would be nice if there was like a logistics system where you could prioritize points, and then it would pull more food. If you're running out of food in the market, it would pull more food towards these provinces, and that were like a consequential thing. So maybe you put high priority on your border places so they can avoid a siege for longer or something like this.
That's something that EU4 kind of has, because every state, which is, I think, probably analogous to an area now in EU5, you could have provincial edicts on, and one of them was like, enhance your defense by 33%, like get 33% more fort defense. Or, this kind of thing. There's like maybe a 8 or so options that you could add on. That might be something that they could look into, like having provincial edicts to...
Seems like a cabinet action thing.
Yeah, you know what? That probably is fair. It's probably way better to use as a cabinet
action. They have it in Crusader Kings with the Byzantine admin government type. You can have the governors, and some of them could be like border governors, and then they're better at defending and skirmishing other places, but they're worse. Your internal ones, you can focus on something else, so it's like a trade-off. I'll make this border area better at defense, but it's worse than everything else. Yeah. So, you could have something like that.
I'd definitely love to see like more of an extended cabinet type thing, like similar to CK.
There's space for that. There's definitely easy space for
that. Definitely not by like... I do not want them to try and add any systems by release. I'd rather have polish than like new systems.
And then they've got that 6 months, haven't they, until DLC comes out, so...
Yeah. And then the DLCs that are coming out feel like they're just going to be relatively minor flavor
things, Well, I don't know how... If they had 5 situations for Byzantium, that's not, like... True. That doesn't seem that minor.
True.
And I think that's going to be the bigger one.
All that DLC needs to do is rename the goddamn country, and I'll be shilling the crap out of that thing.
They're already advertising it as the Byzantine Empire. They already got their...
No, it's Phoenix. Rename it to the Purple Phoenix.
I think it says... I think if you go on Steam page, it says Byzantium.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, but I don't want to see that, so I'm not gonna.
So,
I'm
just gonna close my eyes and maybe the bad men will go away.
It didn't work in 1453.
Yeah.
But I definitely think there's not going to be like massive mechanical change. Like I feel like there's probably going to be rebalancing, and I think definitely there's going to be situations and maybe some. Probably that Roman one's going to come with more disasters than situations, if I'm being honest, because it's just kind of their vibe.
That makes sense.
But yeah, mechanical changes I think they're going to come when they have got the overall vibe of the community and what the community is like hankering for. So if they think a particular system isn't, up to the standard of the rest of the systems, like that could be something that is overhauled.
I think that colonization might be the first thing to get touched up, would be my guess. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I need to colonize more before I can really answer that one. I've touched on it a little bit, but I haven't done a whole I'm playing England and I'm going to colonize.
Did you touch on it in the May version or the April version?
I didn't touch it at all in May.
Okay.
April, May. I've done it a little bit now, but I'm doing it as I've played the Romans and now no one in Europe has colonized the Canary Islands or Micronesia or whatever. So I'm going to have to do it so that colonization can actually happen. And then since the update that we've got, all I've been doing is Wales. So no colonization there. It's all survival.
I'm in the middle of the 1400s, starting to get in the later period as Venice. And so far, I'm the only one who seems to have made it to the New World. But also, they slowed down the timeline in that, so I'm not sure. And everyone has more money now, which is really nice.
You might see more of that happening. Yeah, there's going to be so many, day one on Reddit, look at this, it was Serbia's, landed in the New World or something.
Bulgaria over in the New World a lot, though.
Yeah, you're going to see random stuff like that. I think there's always going to be that battle between people that want the game to be super historical and just it's very hard to railroad it into working that way.
There's also at least 30% of people or 60% with half on each side, at least 30% of people are gonna be upset no matter what state the game releases in, and 30% are gonna be ecstatic no matter what state the game releases in. And so it's
I think there's people that want it to be almost just like a remaster of 4, and it really isn't. It's like a whole different game.
Exactly.
There's going to be a lot of people, I think, that aren't happy, but then hopefully they give it time and realize.
I think there's fewer of those than most people would think, because a lot of people...
They're vocal.
Like myself included, that really love EU4, love it in spite of the systems that we really dislike. Like, mana is the biggest system in EU4. It touches literally everything. And it's not popular. I don't think there's... I can think of very many people who would be standing up saying, yes, I really like mana and I really want it to be in the next game, and if the next game doesn't have mana, I'm going to be really upset. I don't think that person exists. I think there's going to be some people who are going to be mad that certain things have changed from EU4, sure.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be certain people who are going to be mad that it is more simulation-y rather than abstract. But I don't think they're going to point at the game as this game doesn't have mana, therefore I'm not going to like it. That guy doesn't exist. Or maybe he does.
That guy definitely exists, and he's going to be loud, but it's also one guy. That's also the thing that's probably just so frustrating for devs getting feedback is the people who are happy with the current state of affairs don't say anything. It's the people who are annoyed that are shaking their fists.
Shout the loudest about stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how about you, Malforian? What system or DLC, mechanics DLC, would you want to see first?
To be honest, for me, it's hard to know a system that I think needs a rework or is missing. There probably is stuff when I play it more, but
that's fair.
For me, I hope they just lean more into Just content for different places.
Okay.
You know, like I'd rather they let. I don't know how they'll do the season pass kind of format. If they'll copy Crusader Kings, which is kind of large expansion, core expansion, which is something that affects the whole world, like when they redid diseases, and then they have like an event pack kind of thing.
I think we're gonna see
I wonder if
one
they'll do
big,
that
two small.
more like one big expansion and then like two that are focused in it, kind of like the first one.
I think Paradox just in general is moving towards that model as one big, two small.
Yeah, because then I'd rather just flesh out. I mean, I'm sure there is going to be mechanics that I'm like, oh yeah, that needs to be working, or
Yeah.
you know, maybe not everyone has a parliament. Maybe they have a different system.
Well, the like you could Parliament getting reworked or getting expanded would definitely be like.
Yeah, it's not
think
gonna be like
that's
a
gonna
major one, and then you'd have like, I don't know, like say like Japan or whatever as the big deal, like the flavor DLC, just to pad out the rest of the countries. I mean,
Yeah.
already from what we've seen, it's not like Victoria when it launched, or even Crusader Kings when it launched, where there was a lot of mechanics, but if you played in different areas of the map, it didn't really matter. You just played the game the same anyway. So I think even more stuff to differentiate it and just bring flavor to it more. I think than like, oh, I think this system needs to be worked.
So like EU4 is kind of back a couple of years of DLC where it's just all flavor type of expansions.
Yeah, because otherwise you don't want to fall back into EU4 where it's like, oh, here's all these different systems. Like, I'm sure there'll be systems that would be great when they add them, but I'd rather they do less systems, make sure the base ones work good, and then I'd rather see DLC focused around flavor. I know why they kind of don't do that as much, because if you don't want that flavor, you won't buy it. But
I mean, the first three are going to be flavor, and I think the idea is that they're going to be continuing to like fine tune all the base game stuff while expanding the flavor is the idea.
Yeah, I think they've got that 6 months, haven't they? Before the first one, so
not like not biting off more than they can chew.
I think the future of like the DLC policy is going to be anything mechanical that affects more than like one or a group of countries. Like, obviously, if you have like a situation that involves multiple countries, that can still stay in like flavor. That can be DLC. But anything that is mechanical that affects like the systems of the game as they are for everyone, I think that's probably going to be a part of free patches. And then the paid part, the DLC bit, is going to be flavor for this country and this country and this country, including things like new music and new character clothing and new building styles and new unit models.
Have you
and
followed?
That's basically going to be what we pay for.
Have you followed Vicky3's like kind of more recent stuff at all? I assume no.
No.
What they do is like the actual mechanic itself isn't locked, but some of the options for the mechanic get locked. So you have like power blocks, and if you don't have the DLC, you can only use one power block, and there's like 6 power blocks that you can form. And so,
the tease model.
Huh? Well,
the tease model.
It's kind of like that in Crusader Kings as well. So,
well, but the thing is the problem is if you release a massive free patch with some bunch of really cool stuff, and then the DLC is just some flavor, people whinge about it. And it's actually like it kind of like annoys me because like I think it's people not seeing like the bigger picture. Like you just got a bunch of free stuff, and it's about like supporting the development of the game. But like if there was like 1 or 2 patches for Victoria 3 where all of it was in the free patch, and then like people were like, this DLC sucks, and it's like
the French one that was, I remember that being
it was like all in the free. It was all in the free patch. Yeah. And I was like, there's nothing on it.
I definitely can see that I think that's a problem of advertising. I think that's a problem of letting people know, look, this is the update.
Yeah.
This is all of the things that you're getting in the update. And then this bit here, you pay for. This bit here, still part of the same update.
Yeah.
But this part's free. And then just kind of re-flavor the perception. Like, that's what they need to do, and it's pure marketing.
Yeah.
Pure marketing.
I think they got better on Crusader Kings. That was the problem with to the Royal Court,
Royal
which brought in the
Court,
court system,
yeah.
which was like, but it also brought in the culture rework, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, I think so.
Which the base game got, and then there was just like, you have all this new culture system, but if you buy the DLC, you also can then diverge them and merge them together and make all these cool different combinations.
Yeah.
But in the base game, you just got like, oh, here's the brand new culture system. And it sounds like that's what they're doing in the EU5. But yeah, they need to.
I hope
like
that
say,
they.
it's a whole package and not just one thing.
Like the problem, EU4 is a freaking disaster in terms of trying to play just the base game. Like,
oh yeah,
and they can't have
and
that.
onboarding new people is painful.
Yeah, so I just wouldn't do it. It's painful for them. It's painful for your friendship or what remains of it. Your former friend, like.
Thankfully, multiplayer, whoever is the host is the one that needs the DLC, and then everyone who joins doesn't need any of the DLC. That's a system that I love.
Yep, yeah, that is fair. But I also think if you're getting it on EU4, you should just do the subscription. Well, I just think you should just wait, but like you should do the subscription thing.
Yeah, if you want to play before EU5 comes out, just subscribe for a month.
And so, but like, oh, I lost my train of thought. Terrible. But we are getting over 2 hours here. Yes. So, was there any final thoughts that you guys wanted to add about EU5? Slash plugs you wanted to make?
I guess.
It's fine.
It's alright. I think it's gonna be reasonably, minorly successful as fine as a hit.
On release, do you think it's gonna be positive?
Oh yeah, no, I don't think. And the people saying it's going to be mixed. The people saying it's going to be mixed are like, "Are you out of your mind?" Like, it is not going to be as bad as a release as Vic 3, and that game only barely made it into mixed, and it climbed out way faster than it deserved. Like, there is not a hope in hell that this game is going to be mixed. That's just not going to happen.
I don't see it being mixed unless I just like.
It happens as if the performance is just that bad, but I can't.
If they somehow released a version, where there's like a bunch of bugs relative to the version we're on, or something like this, because the version we're on is like stable.
That's the only way it gets a super bad review. Is if it just doesn't work on whatever. Like, I can't imagine otherwise. There's just so much stuff in there once you play it.
I honestly think they could release the version we have access to now, and it would get positive.
I think so too.
And people,
apart from the fact that the game rules don't work, then all of my fellow Roma boos will be throwing that dislike.
I think people would like complain, but I still think it would hit positive. Like the forts right now are like a little bit of nonsense because the zero maintenance change where like you could just assault the forts instantly and like
that's gonna be changed in less than a week, surely. Like
that's it definitely. It's just if that made it in,
not obvious.
That would be something people complain about on release, but also I still think it would get.
They've written the review already before they get there.
Yeah.
There's enough in the game to be positive about, and even people who are going to be going in thinking, this game's not going to have as much flavor as EU4. There's no way. There's still like.
Did you see Zlewick's video?
Yeah, I mean, there's tons in there.
There's more than like current EU4, and that's like you're not even comparing it against base game EU4.
Yeah, the thing is as well, the things that were lacking from EU4. Do you really miss them? Are you really actually gonna miss development clicking button to make province look bigger? You gonna miss that, really? Are we gonna count that as the things that we are gonna be unhappy about? No, you're not. Don't be silly. You're gonna miss mana? We don't have mana anymore. Oh my god, the world's gonna shut up. Like, the things that we're losing, I wanted to lose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
the only people
is something people don't push back against.
That's the one thing.
I do wish
if there's a big mission tree fan base, they're gonna be unhappy. That's the only.
I do wish the requirements to trigger situations was made more transparent to the player. That's like one of my bigger grievances, is because I know there's content out there, and I don't know how to trigger it, and I want to trigger it. And I don't have a way to look it up. And
that's across all Paradox games, though.
Not Victoria 3.
UI complainers as well. There's going to be people.
Victoria 3 has the journal.
We complain about UI.
There's a journal for CK as well. You know, like ahead of time what you need to trigger like certain things.
But a lot of the stuff you can't see in game, or the stuff that like might be close to you that you don't know exists until you enter. Like,
but there's
that area. You're like,
there's
oh, there's this whole thing I could have been doing.
There's a bunch of like big like things that like appear in your like CK journal. There's no equivalent journal in EU5. Right?
Yeah,
you would have seen it, but it's all
you
hidden
might.
in your little situation bubble. The CK and Victory are so fun. I'm so glad that's not in. I'm so glad. I hate that thing. That situation bubble is awful. I hate it. Notification system in EU5 is fantastic. Apart from the fact that wars need to go down there rather than up here.
Oh, I disagree, but
Really?
I like the wars up top. Yeah.
Ah, no.
Yeah.
No.
I wish I could
Don't
right-click
like
to dismiss all of the notifications, though.
I mean, you can right-click on most of them to get them to leave, but I guess they come back if they... Or are you talking about
dismiss
one right-click
all.
and they all go?
Yeah.
Ah.
Send them all
That
away.
could be think bad.
That could maybe be a game setting. Malforian, do you think it's positive on release, or mixed, or overwhelmingly positive?
I think it'll be at least. I think it'll be positive. I think there's so many players, like you say, that are just going to buy the game. Probably haven't even followed the development. Just see like a new grand strategy game, play it, and are just like, wow, look at all this stuff you can do in this. That would never have got into EU4 because of how hard it is to get into it now.
Yeah.
Unless there's like some crazy, like game just doesn't work properly issue, I think it'll be. I can't see how it'd be less than positive. Yeah, there'll be people who miss certain things from EU4, just want to complain about some things, or have legitimate reasons even.
There's definitely.
I don't think there'll be enough to knock it down below that. I'd be surprised.
Do you read the forums at all, Malforian?
No, I stay away from the forums.
Oh, that's probably good.
I go on Reddit just to laugh at
it's like it's the same with Reddit to like a large extent, where like some people are just like they're gonna like be complaining or dooming no matter what, like 100% of the time, and then some people are just hype all the way, and it's like.
And most people are in the middle. They're just gonna enjoy playing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The rating system on Steam, by the way, just for a little bit of transparency, I looked it up. So it's
Okay. Yeah.
Mixed, 40% to 69%. Nice. Of positive reviews. Mostly positive, 70 to 79, and then positive is 80 to 100 for the first 10 to 49 reviews. For 50 to 49 reviews, it's very positive. And then if you have 500 plus reviews, if it's between 80 and 94, it's still very positive. But if it's 500 plus reviews and over 95%, then it's overwhelmingly. Look, this is convoluted bloody
That is
boxes within
convoluted.
boxes.
I thought it was just mixed positive and overwhelmingly positive.
No, there's like mostly positive. It might be mostly positive, I guess. I think it'd be some version of positive. It won't be overwhelmingly. I think there's be enough people.
No, I wouldn't think it would be
overwhelmingly needs
either.
95 to 100.
Overwhelmingly,
I think we'll
like,
probably get like mostly positive.
you only get overwhelmingly on like DLCs. I feel like.
Yeah, it's very hard for a base game.
I think we're going to get very positive. As soon as we get 50 reviews, I think it's going to be in very positive, which is over 80%, and it's going to stay there for its entire lifespan.
I think it'd be positive and then ramp up slow.
Do you know what game has the highest rated DLC, Lambert?
Yeah, I do. Doesn't deserve it. But, you know.
Is it Victoria 3?
It's Victoria 3.
Look, you bring me a Warfare DLC and then I
positive.
might change my review.
Overwhelmingly.
I might change my review.
Do you know what's got one of the 10 worst DLCs ever on Steam?
Yeah, Leviathan is still down there, right?
And Coronation's the new one for CK3.
I haven't seen like too much of it, other than like I saw Tarkus's like thumbnail where it's like 0 out of 10. This actually made the game worse, and I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Game actually worse. Uninstall / revert. Like.
Yeah. When one of the content creators that mains your game tells you, do not buy this DLC, it will make your game worse. Like, the devs must be like, oh.
I'll be honest, I did my video where it's like, it's fine. It's like mechanically fine, but they did this post apologizing for it just to go off the tangent. And they even said in there, like, yeah, we just didn't have time to finish this. And you're like, yeah, I can tell, because like this, you can get coronation, so you get like crowned in it, and then you swear these oaths to say like, oh, during my reign, I'm going to do such and such. And like one of them is within, this was a launch, I think it was within 20 years, you had to do 10 hunts successfully, and they take 2 years each, so do the maths. If you back-to-back them, you can only just reach it in 20 years, and they all have to be successful. Or you can do 3 legendary hunts, and I've never done one in 1,000 hours of playing the game.
Yeah,
so
I've never managed that either.
It's just stuff like that where it's like, oh, once it's balanced, it'll be fine. But yeah, it was launched just like, did anyone even read these?
So the systems are fine.
And then you launched it.
It's just
systems are fine, but it's buggy.
No balance to anything.
Yeah, it's just no balance. Like I think mechanically it works fine, but like the balance is just insane.
I mean,
like
it's the same. It's the same for Leviathan for EU4.
That made me quit EU4.
It was just. Mechanically, it's just a mission tree pack, and the mission trees in it, they're fine. They're as expected. The reason it got so heavily downvoted and hated because they released it and it was broken, and it was horrifically broken. It was buggy, and it was basically non-functional. And then it got all these overwhelmingly negative reviews.
Mm-hmm.
The game was fixed, but the reviews don't change.
That's right. For me, the being on the other side of it, like, that really, like, just burned that into, like, my mind. Because I literally bought every DLC for EU4. Leviathan came out. I refunded it. I never bought another one again, and I never played again. Like,
yeah,
which is just like,
it's that first impression that's the most important thing. It's hard to win someone back. That's
yeah,
why, hopefully EU5
that's why I've not gone
in
back
a good
to
state, because you don't want just like Victoria, you know. Once you've lost a Victoria player, they're not coming back. So
true, because we've got better games to play.
Yeah,
Victoria's on the up. Best, highest rated DLC.
Yeah, but like still the lowest player base. I think EU4 still beats it for player base, right?
I'm not sure. Like, Vicky got a really big bump in terms of player base.
Now 5 people.
I don't want to check it because I don't want to accidentally brick my setup that I have here. If one of you guys wants to check it, I imagine.
I think it was around 8,000 players. Concurrent anyway, so that's obviously total players.
It was doing really well, like around its DLC releases. I do think it's beating EU4.
Yeah, because EU4 doesn't do DLCs anymore. you can't take your temporary boost as like, yeah, this is look we're doing.
Well, you side. Who's ahead right now?
EU4 has 20,000 concurrent players generally, and Victoria has 8,000.
Yeah,
so
okay,
it's half as
that's
big.
fair.
Hoi 4 must be the biggest.
Hoi is
biggest. No, it's not even close. It's not even close. Yeah. Hoi absolutely walks.
Yeah.
Yeah, hard to find 64,000 concurrent roughly every day.
I don't think EU5 is beating that. Like, obviously, on release, it's going to hit probably 100 concurrents. And then it's going to go down because the learning curve for the game is relatively steep. We can definitely say
Have you seen some of the hints and the tips, like, type UI?
I think the tutorial is actually really good. For once, as long as you play a country where the tutorial is completable. Some countries allow it. Look, all credit to CK3 when it did its tutorial. It's like, okay, you play in this country. This is your tutorial country, and we're going to do the tutorial here. In EU4, in EU5, you can do the tutorial in any country. But then there's certain tutorial missions that won't let you progress unless you do get your economy to be positive. And all you've got are the sliders, and you can't move to any other window. You can't do any trading. You can't unpause the game. It's like, I've maxed out the taxes, and I've minimized out the expenses, and I'm still losing money. You're not letting me progress.
To be fair, the new sliders system where you can zero out your sliders actually will allow that to be doable on anyone.
That's the reason for it. The only reason that we made it to 0 is so we can complete the tutorial. I did the tutorial as Milan, and it was completable. There was a bug at the end of it, but I mean, whatever. I think as Holland, it was incompletable.
Yeah,
I
think
saw a lot of people
I
saying
think they had also just rolled out the tutorials before they gave
Yeah.
out the creator version. So, and that was now like a month and a half ago, that like initial version, and then we're like a month and a half from release.
Yep.
How's
little bit more.
the how's the Vic 3 tutorial? Is that
The
anything
Vic 3
worth-
tutorial tries to make you do something that's like nearly impossible and also just bad to do.
It doesn't have like an almost world conquest as part of its
you
tutorial.
have to like play to the end date, so kind of.
Fuck's sake.
But the hard one is like
Wild.
you have to get steel to minus 20% price, and just with how the PMs work, that's really actually quite hard to do unless you are doing some weird manipulation. Just building more and more steel constantly, it's extraordinarily hard to get it to minus 20% price. You have to do some fiddly thing where you take the PMs down, you build a lot of steel, and then you turn the PMs up, or like you somehow dump it into your market, or you just eliminate demand for steel in some way by just deleting everything that uses steel. And
Funky.
also, it just isn't good to have steel at minus 20% because it means you're playing wrong.
Yeah.
That's the example I think of, but there's like other like weird, like strangeness.
Yeah.
With the
But yeah,
with the
I do
tutorial.
think EU5's tutorial
Yeah.
is certainly better than EU4's.
EU4's is the tutorial that they had on release, and some of the
Yeah.
things that wants you to do is literally impossible because the systems have been changed.
Yep.
So I don't know why they even have it still in the game. They should have just taken it
yeah,
out.
it should definitely not be there anymore. The tutorial for EU4 is you watch EU4 people play EU4 on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I learned anyway.
Same.
But yeah,
That's-
EU5's is really good, so at least that's gonna smooth out, I think, the learning curve.
I think the way they look at
little
it
bit.
now, to some extent, is also they want something that's really good on release and applicable on release, and it's less important that it stays good as time goes on. Because I think it increases player retention significantly on release to have a tutorial and have it be
Yeah.
good on release. I don't think it really helps player retention like later on as much.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah.
So, and then yeah, people especially like learn that because there's no YouTube videos on release on like how to do everything.
I mean, I feel like you're probably gonna attempt to change that, right?
I mean, I'm
How do
gonna
you trade?
try and super
Hey,
no life
tutorial.
and do. I'm gonna see if I could do like a video every, like stream the day of, and then when I'm not streaming, for like the release week, probably try and do a video every 4 hours.
That's
Madman.
wild. That's wild.
We'll
I'm not even
see.
gonna try and compete. I'm not
We'll
even gonna
see
try.
if that's possible, but that might not be possible. Just like I don't know. Every content creator I've talked to just thinks that that's a terrible idea, though.
Yeah, it does sound like a terrible idea.
And it's
If I use the subscriptions feed on YouTube, and there has been times when I have been following someone and then they just content dump, and then I have to scroll for quite a while to get to videos that aren't theirs, and I will just unsubscribe from them.
Yeah, same.
yeah, I think what I
Hey.
need to do is I need to only one a day actually go to feed, because you can have stuff just not
One
go
a day
to
would
feed.
work fine. Yeah.
Especially
that's-
not send shorts to the feed.
I think one a day is like the maximum I would want to do. Like if I had the stamina for making videos that I used to,
Yeah.
one a day is probably the maximum. And I just don't have that stamina or the free time anymore.
Yeah.
I used to do a video every 4 hours. I did the Arumba school of making videos.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It's definitely not the right time for it now, and it wasn't then either.
No, I mean, I think the ROI on it is, like, not the best. I mean, it helps for me that I can one-shot videos, or, like, my videos are, like, really low effort in terms of, like, editing.
Yeah.
And so...
Big effort in terms of, like, understanding and remembering what I need to say and then getting it all out in one take.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
That is the effort is, like, front-loaded in that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to understand the thing, or making a spreadsheet for the thing. And then you just
how many
record one
spreadsheets
shot.
do you have?
For EU4? Or I mean EU5?
No, for EU5, yeah.
Well, I have a spreadsheet thing with like 4 pages, 4 different sheets. And then I have a hidden spreadsheet with an additional 1 or 2. That's not available, but the 2 that are like a lot of math is like one that's calculating stuff related to control and market access, and then one that is calculating stuff relative to like a state's privileges versus crown power.
That's cool.
And so, yeah, you can kind of get an idea. Like if you have less than 15 control, but it's really like closer to like low 20s, it's actually more profitable to have a subject own a piece of territory than you own it.
Yeah. Yeah.
In terms of income, especially colonies, as they have like the later modifiers now in like the last 2 ages, you get plus 50% colony income and plus 100%.
Yeah.
Like that really changes the math. So you'd have to have like 40 or 50 control for like you to want to have it yourself. Not to mention colonies, I think, can use slaves and you can't if you're like a Christian. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Or something like this. But I think we're going to wrap up because now we're at like 2.5 hours. Are there any plugs that you guys wanted to do? Anything you have coming up that you wanted to mention? Stuff like this?
I'm making a Wales AAR eventually. I'm currently at 6,120 words, and I'm not done.
And you're going to play Vic 3, right? For
I'll look. I mean, I'll stream it and then it'll go on my VOD channel. Probably, unless it goes really badly. Unless I swear a lot.
If my viewers want to check out someone who hates Vic 3 playing Vic 3, that actually might be entertaining for them.
I am look. Look. If you scroll back far enough on my YouTube channel, you'll see when I stopped playing Vic 3, and there was a lot of swear words said, and a lot of like I got ranty about that goddamn game. I tried to do all the achievements. That was like my.
You say it as if it's past tense. You're still ranty about the game.
Yes, but I don't have the game open while doing it right now.
That's fair.
Yeah. Also, I'm just less clued in. Like when I was ranting before, I knew what I was talking about because it was current, it was relevant. It was. I don't know the game anymore. I would have to learn the game to then continue to rant about it properly.
Yeah.
Know thy enemy and all that kind of stuff. I don't know it anymore.
We might see a little bit of that coming up with Anbennar. I think I'm probably going to stream Anbennar on the release date too.
Nice.
Just because
you could probably get early access if you popped into their Discord.
I'm in the Discord. I think not going to discuss publicly because I don't know what for them is public facing or not.
Right, fair enough.
Malforian, what do you have coming up?
I mean, my channel's more like information and discussion, so I'm just covering all the dev diaries and.
I do think
building up.
You have the best editing out of the 3 of us, right? Is that right,
really?
Lambert?
Thank you. I learned from I've never edited anything, and then gradually, as I've done more YouTube, I've just got better and better at it. I think. So yeah, I've just got the coverage of that, and then obviously when EU5 comes out, Crusader Kings, we've got when we find out when it's releasing, is All for Heaven, which is bringing China and Japan and Southeast Asia. He plays a god. He plays a god king. So waiting for that release date.
I do that in Anbennar.
Oh, there you go then. That's where they took it.
Yeah.
So yeah, mainly just that. So if you're interested in me waffling on about, content, then that's generally what I do on my channel.
I hope they give you at least some measure of early access for EU5, but
yeah, you deserve it. Like they brought you to Spain.
Yeah,
they brought you to Spain. They have to give you.
I'm not trying to needle, but I'm like not entirely sure why you didn't get like access this time around. I don't know.
Who knows? I mean, I don't get early access to Crusader Kings stuff either, so
that's fair.
That's the main thing I cover.
Crazy.
But I don't mind. Like, whatever. It's kind of nice not knowing, because then it's a surprise and stuff like that. When they do like the teaser for upcoming content, it's cool not knowing.
It's really nice not having to worry about your NDA. I get so stressed out about like NDA stuff. Like like unbelievably just I get like way too stressed. Like the content creator manager tells me I need to chill out, but like.
Well, it's like we've never done it before either. It's kind of like, I've got
no one here has ever accidentally broken an NDA.
That would be tragic and ruin their future prospects.
Happy warning.
But there's still time. Don't worry.
Look, that exploit has been closed.
Yeah, you learn how YouTube works, because it doesn't make sense.
Hard lessons, yeah. For the viewers who don't know what's going on, Lambert jumped the gun with his EU5 video, let's say.
Accidentally.
Yeah, a little bit of a misfire, let's say.
I was asked to put it on a playlist, or I was asked to make it.
You were not asked to put it on a playlist.
Yeah. I put it on the playlist as private, which doesn't show it to anybody. I was then asked to make it unlisted so that they could put it on their playlist, which then made it publicly visible on my playlist. And then I went to bed, and I had people who did not have my phone number asking around for people who did have my phone number so that they could ring me at 4 o'clock in the morning while I was sleeping. It's a good job I'm a light sleeper. And so I got a call from somebody in Scotland telling me to fix my shit, and then I obviously didn't sleep the rest of that day. Honestly, like,
it seems like a super. I literally would have made the exact same mistake if you didn't make it before me.
Yep.
Because I would have done the exact same thing.
Why didn't you? You said I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah, no,
just been you.
That's right. That's exactly what that would have been. Because I had the exact same process. Everything went in my EU5 playlist, and like this type of thing. And then normally I just don't. I leave it like on private, not like unlisted, or I leave it on listed, not private. The exact same thing. Just exactly 100% the same. I'm glad you stepped into it before I did. Huh?
And I'm just mortified that it happened.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that they, saw, oh, yeah, it was a mistake. And, like, the fact I've got EU5 access now means that it shows that, like, they accept it.
It was just a mistake.
Honestly, with the way the timeline was, where it was only, like, 10 hours early or something like this, I actually think that it was positive for hype. Because, like, news that there was a leak reached, and then by the time people were looking for it, then there was, like, the release stream, right? And then, like, well, I mean, like, I could be wrong.
I guess.
I could talk with the marketing.
I mean,
maybe they'll have...
Victory was leaked.
You know what they should do is they should have one accidental leaker every time who just leaks...
Not me next time. Not me next
time. Leaks it 8 hours early.
Yeah, it's not me next time. Veto. It's pretty common. Like, Vic 3 got leaked on the forums by Vic 3, like, community manager, the day of the announcement. Did CK3 have a leak? I don't remember, actually. Because they announced it at PDXCon. I feel like it was...
It was definitely leaked early. I remember it being, like, people knew it was.
There's not enough time for, like, in 8 hours for it to, like, hit the general public in such a way that the announcement isn't going to get traction, I think.
Yeah.
Or it's going to hurt the announcement traction, which I think is what marketing doesn't want.
Yeah. There was one guy who just completely re-uploaded it to YouTube.
Your video? Yeah, I remember that.
Asshole. He got like 3,000 or so views, and then there was mirrors put on like Live Leak and all that kind of like the site that people go to watch like awful videos, and then there's fucking my face there. Like that was real.
Another awful video.
Real.
In that video, you said if you thought Victoria was bad.
Oh. Yeah. No, it's just. I mean. It's more embarrassing than anything else nowadays.
Yeah. Well, because I think it's more embarrassing because no one got mad at you.
Yeah,
it would be
shut
something
up,
else
please.
if some people got mad at you.
I just scream at me. Just tell me I'm a bad boy. Play something.
Yeah.
You know? But no, they were just chill, and it's like
Nuh-uh.
you are being way more like the thing that actually was the thing that actually hurt the most of every reaction that I saw was the first thing Johan said in the Discord after it happened. It's just he did a sad face. It's the only thing he wrote.
Disappointed.
Yeah. Oh, it hurt. It hurt so much just to see a sad face.
It's not
A
like
little
this.
broken emoji. I was devastated.
Why would
Just
you want to
sad Johan is sad. I think he was.
Yeah.
I think it was big stress in that week too. So
Oh, I
Yeah.
can imagine.
Yeah, for sure.
like I have to imagine that it being so like what is it? Imperator obviously like is no longer getting continued support and is generally considered to be like a failure, right? And if that's your last project that you did, and then Johan's, I think this is going to be like the last project he does, because he can retire if he wants, right?
He could already have done.
Yeah.
He does this for the love of the craft.
Yeah, but then I think that it's likely that this is going to be his last game, like whether it does well or not. So like that's just like seems like it's so much pressure.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not. Maybe he just keeps doing this for like, another.
I think it's definitely
because he
so much.
enjoys doing it.
Yeah.
I think he'll stop when he stops enjoying it,
That's fair.
or if it like starts getting in the way of like family stuff. But like even then, like when we were
Yeah,
in Tinto, the wife and dogs came over to visit, and like it seems
Yeah.
like he's in a super chill situation. Like he retired to Spain
Yeah.
to make the game
yeah,
without like the bureaucracy of Stockholm over the top of it. Like he's got the best of both worlds for
Yeah.
like retirement and doing what he loves for a living. Like
And if it's successful,
I don't know.
it's like, what, like 10 years of being in charge of it, at least? So, like...
Well, that's
I mean-
kind of what I think. I mean, I guess I haven't discussed it with it, and even if I did, I probably wouldn't want to talk it on a podcast. So this is just entirely speculative. But me personally, if the game somehow went bad, like, and I had like 2 in a row, I would like probably, and I could just retire. You know what I mean?
Out at that point. Yeah.
But I think it's
I
going to
know,
do
it's
well,
gonna
and then I think he's going to keep doing it for like several years or as long as he wants. Yeah.
and it's going to be an absolute like huge pivotal moment in just Paradox history as a whole when he eventually leaves. Like there is no
Yeah.
one in that company with the, I guess, prestige as Johan.
Yeah.
Like none, literally none. No one else comes close.
Well, also like no one with like that. There was like 3 initial like game designers. Aren't the other 2 gone?
Chris
Or am I-
King is now at Gilded Destiny, and then the other one I think is like, is it Podcat, who did Hearts of Iron? He was the head of Hearts of Iron for a while. He's moved on to something, and then Henrik Forhuis, I can't pronounce his name for anything, who did CK3. I think he's also moved on to something, but
Yeah.
moved on to something within Paradox.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they're working on. I assume it's going to be like the next announcement of a game
Yeah.
next year, year after next, or something like that.
Stellaris 2.
Stellaris 2 or maybe Hearts of Iron 5.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hearts of Iron
but-
seems like it's exhausted its cycle.
Yeah, I think that might be the next one. But I think they're working on that. But even then, like they are the other big names. I think Yuan just completely
Yeah.
Yeah, he dwarfs.
different
I-
different levels.
I'm not as well versed on like the history and like the stuff going back as you are. Just in general.
Yeah. There's a really good video by Itskara who did like the history of Paradox. Really, really well done. And
Okay.
it's actually disgusting that video doesn't have more than like 35,000 views. That thing needs to have way more.
Some videos are just like super underseen.
Yeah,
just
like
don't
all
get
of
the
mine.
algorithm right. Or whatever.
It's like-
But yeah, I recommend that one a lot. But yeah, I mean, if he goes to do another project, it's because he wants to. If he wants to stay on this one, it's because he wants to. I think he's got the freedom to do whatever he wants at this point.
Yeah.
Like, even after having Imperator fail, he still has that, like, not political, like in company political, like, sway to do what he wants.
Or just trust from the people who are making the decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
I also think that Imperator is I thought the plague was pulled too early on that, and like the state it's in now is actually like pretty good for like a one DLC game.
Yeah, I would say if you've not played it and people want something to play for a bit, definitely get it.
Yeah,
because it's the 2.0 relaunch was so good. But
also, you see a lot of
that is really good.
You'll see a lot of systems that made it into EU5 from Imperator. Although I'm a little bit less versed. Like, all my Imperator hours are on, like, Invictus, I think, is the name of the, like, community overhaul mod that's, like, generally seen as, like, the vanilla experience is playing Invictus. But
it's really good.
I think we'll wrap it up, because people have done their plugs and all this type of thing. And so I will click stop recording, and bye-bye, everyone. Or, bye-bye.
Bye.
It's been a pleasure.